great deal or not just yet. I've got to wait for that green light to say that we're good. And says we're on. How guys, how you going? So down BKR Sport, I need you to comment that everything's all sweet, just because it keeps saying on my side that that it might be in and out, shake it all about. So please let me know in the comments section that everything's working and that the internet is not absolutely all over the shop. But for the time being, today, guys, we are here for the Newcastle Knights taking on the Manly Seagulls in round 14 of the NRL season. This game does not exactly look like a spicy one's incoming. Does not necessarily say, yeah, we are early, Daz. Yeah, no, we're fired up. Gee whiz, Daz, how dare you not expect that we will be fired up for another week of rugby league, baby. Gee whiz, Daz, get a grip yourself. Get a grip. But please let me know that everything's running smoothly in the comment section, guys, because that's why I started up a little bit early as well, because it does, yeah, everything's great. Okay, sweet, Josh. Let's get into a bit of the preview for today's game, which, like I said, isn't exactly looking like the spiciest. It is the Newcastle Knights who come to this game from 15th position, and the Manly Seagulls who come to this game from 7th position. That's obviously pre-buys. Now, there are 3 buys this weekend comparatively. No, is there 3? No, I think there is only 1 actually, and that is the Sydney Roosters. Yeah, there is only 1 buy this weekend. That is the Sydney Chalky Chooksters. Next weekend is when we have the big buys, but this is a bit of a random weekend because we've got the King's birthday or whatever it is on Monday, which is the Bulldogs versus the Eels. So that means we've got 1 game tonight, we've got 2 games tomorrow, 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, and then a game on Monday. What a week! Oh my gosh, what a week of rugby league, baby. Gee whiz. That means we'll only have Tuesday and Wednesday with no rugby league. Beautiful. But let's get into this game. Let's preview what we think is about to happen. Obviously, hit that like button. Smack it! Subscribe if you are new around here. And let's go. So, the Knights were 15th, come up against Manly in 7th. This is at McDonald's Jones Stadium in Newcastle. It says the weather is fine, but NRL.com always says the weather is fine. So, I honestly don't know what the weather is like until I get to have a look at the stadium. The ins are Elijah Salesa-Leomoana, who I would assume would be a debutant if he's actually in the team. Greg Martiu, Jackson Hastings, and Kalen Ponga. Interesting to see Jackson Hastings' names back amongst the Knights list there, with the outs being Jack Hetherington, Kyle McCarthy, Leo Thompson, and Tyson Gamble. The fullback is Kalen Ponga, who is the captain, with the wingers being Fletcher Hunt and Greggy Martiu. Centres are James Schiller, who moves in from the wing to the centre alongside Dane Gagai. The 5'8" is Fletcher Sharp, with the halfback being Jack Cogger. Front row forwards are Tyson Frizzell and Brodie Jones. Jeez. All over the shop there. And Phoenix Crossland is at number 9. Go to the back row of Dylan Lucas and Kai Pearce-Paul, with the 13 being Thomas Cant, who is the lock. He was actually originally on the bench. Now he's in the 13. Go to the interchange. Matt Croker, Jaden Brayley, Jermaine McEwen, and it is his, I would assume it's his debut because I haven't seen him before, Elijah Salesa-Leomoana comes onto the bench there with Jackson Hastings as the 18th man replacement and Adam O'Brien as the coach. Now, the question here in regards to the Knights is always going to be the same. It's always going to be in regards to the halves, which they've changed left, right, good night throughout their last few years. And yes, they've been able to pip themselves into a final spot late on before getting knocked out the first week. It's great to be competitive, but ultimately you want to win a premiership. So that has been their biggest test that they're still looking for. That's why they're bringing Dylan Brown in for another change in the halves next year. But a change in the halves makes sense because they're still trying to find what they want to go forward with. They've got plenty on the roster. They've got Fletcher Sharp there. They've got Jack Cogger. They've got Jackson Hastings. They've got this man. They've got that man. They've got him. They've got them. It's got everybody there at Newcastle. So that's what we've got to look for there in regards to them solidifying their spine. I still think they're obviously a little bit looking for an eye as well. Their forwards actually should be a lot better than, I guess, what they've been producing. Dylan Lucas is a great back rower. Kai Pearce-Paul has the potential to be a great back rower. Frizzell maybe not where he used to be. Brodie Jones is solid. Thomas Cant has come off the bench and now he's starting, so we'll see how he cracks on. But look, this Knights team, there's a reason why they are down the bottom area of the table. They are equal last right now with minus 69 points differential, and their attack is the worst attack in the competition. And that is down to the spine. That is down to the attacking fluidity of the halves. So there's no real surprise that they have the worst attack in the competition, and it is by a significant amount. They are the only team that hasn't scored 200 points yet this year through 13 rounds. And with that being said, they've also only got 159. So they're 41 points short of 200. Every other team has hit over 210 as a minimum. The second worst team is the Rabbitohs with 211. So they are a good 50-odd points behind attacking-wise. than the next worst attack in the comp. And the Rabbitohs, they're up there in 9th position. So it tells you the biggest woes with Newcastle this season. For Manly on the other end, you've got Jake Trbojevic, Michael Cheekham, and Torfor Sipley coming in, with the outs being Jake Arthur, Josh Aloye, and Matthew Lodge. The fullback is Lehigh Hopewade, with the wingers being Clayton Faulalo and Tommy Talau. Centers of Tola Talquala and Ruben Garrick. You go to the 5'8", Luke Brooks, with the halfback being Daly Cherry Evans, who is the captain. We go to the front row forwards of Ethan Bullimore and Jazz Devanga, who comes in off the bench and is starting now. Lachlan Croker is the number 9. Back row of Hamoli Olakawatu and Ben Trbojevic, with the 13 being Jake Trbojevic. Then you've got the interchange of Torfor Sipley, Jake Simpkin, Corey Waddle, and Nathan Brown, with the 18th man of placement being Michael Cheekham. Still cracking on, man. I remember when he was a young debutant of the Rabbitohs, and still cracking on here at Manly. And we've got Anthony Seibold as the coach. Manly still without Tom Trbojevic. Is that a positive? Is that a negative? It's always going to be a negative, and I'm going to remind that to people who are on the, Tom Trbojevic is done wagon. We've got reports of talking about the Super League. Listen, Tom Trbojevic isn't going to the fucking Super League, lads. Like, come on, man. Like, what is this? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Tom Trbojevic is not going to the Super League. If he goes to the Super League, gee whiz, what's going on there? Because, hold on, I'm going to get the report up. I'm going to get the report up here and just, hold on. Tom Trbojevic, let's go to the news. Let's go to the old news. When I'm considering I'm in Thailand, man, I don't see it as much. But yeah, linked with shock NRL exit as Manly face Lehigh Hopewade headache. I do like Lehigh Hopewade, but stop it. It's just let's just stop it here. Let's just stop pretending that Tom Trbojevic is going over the Super League. But it's a good team. There's a reason why I picked him in 4th position pre-season. Now I did put a big caveat on that, and I did say that look, I only think Manly get into 4th position this year if Tom Trbojevic is healthy throughout the year. Now, that was a big if because Tom Trbojevic is never healthy. And unfortunately, that's the truth. I don't want to talk about it. Touch wood, he is okay. But that is the truth. And Tom Trbojevic is injured more than not since 2021 throughout his career. It's unfortunate because he is one of the best players in the competition when fully healthy. But now that when he is playing, you can tell a bit of a difference. You can tell a bit of a massive difference between what he used to be and what he is now. So, look, I'm looking forward to seeing how Lehigh Hopewade goes because he had a fantastic game last week against the Bronx. And this 1 through 5 is fantastic. The 6 and 7 should be, absolutely crushing it. Luke Brooks has won at down in 5/8 of the year. Was a halfback? Damn, I can't remember. I think it was halfback, wasn't it, the Tigers? Or was that the year that Mitchell Moses was there? Shit, I can't remember. But he won a halfback or 5/8 of the year at the Tigers. I just can't really remember. Maybe because massive Tigers hater, apparently. But it's a good Hearts pairing. And even though Cherry Evans hasn't been great this season, because he's got a lot of distractions as he is looking for a new club next year. It looks like he's probably going to the Roosters, but the Dolphins are in there. Anyway, long story short, a lot of distractions there, and he needs to improve. He does. He needs to improve after that Origin performance because it was poor for Queensland, and he will be selected in the 7. I know everyone's suggesting Tom did in the 7. I get it. I just don't know if Billy Slater is going to do that. And this forward pack, although it may not look outstanding on paper, Bullimore is superbly underrated. I never used to rate him, and now I've seen it, and I can see he runs tough, man. He is a good player. Jazz Devanga, he does what he needs to do. Nothing spectacular. Lachlan Croker, the exact same kind of mould there, but in the hooker. Olakawatu is fantastic, one of the best back rowers in the competition. Ben Trbojevic, someday good, someday not so good, but he's fine. And then Jake Trbojevic is the ever-present lock there. I do think the game has gone away from him a little bit, but with that being said, Jake Trbojevic is a fantastic 13. Still one of the better 13s in the comp. I wouldn't say he's top 5 anymore, but he's still cracking on. He's still working hard. He's a great defender, and he's a workhorse. He's just not that kind of attacking-minded 13 that you are going to find across the competition nowadays that do have the defense and also the attack, which is why a lot of people think that the 13 is basically a spine position, which we've been talking about for a good decade now, but people refuse to kind of ultimately acknowledge it as a part of the spine. I will, though. I will say that I think a 13 should be part of the spine, but people don't necessarily include it. So my tip today is going to be Manly, and I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. That is not a surprise to you. It's not a surprise to your mum. It's not a surprise to the Newcastle Knights. It's just not a surprise to literally anybody that I'm tipping Manly. Now, Thursday night games are always upsets. There is always an upset in the Thursday night game. So I am very well aware that, sure, the Knights at home might be under a lot of pressure. This is about the time of the season when they start to fire up and go on a bit of a run so they can kind of salvage Adam O'Brien's career, even though Adam O'Brien's career should have been done and dusted with the Knights about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. I've been saying it then, I'll say it now. Don't care if they go on a 10-game winning streak because they'll probably get knocked out in the first or second week of the finals regardless. So I do think the Knights need to completely go in a different direction. Whether they do that or not, I don't know. They'll probably re-sign him for another 5 years, which is a very Newcastle and Newcastle thing to do. But I am going to tip Manly here. I will tip the 1-12 on the basis this is at McDonald's Jones Stadium, where I don't know if they've won so far this season, the Knights. At home, they've won one game. They've won one game. Who was that against? I've got to go back and have a look. Who was that against? Because I know they lost to us. Oh, yeah. I saw Knights fans talking shit about the Titans before on Instagram. Knights content creators. Hey, get a grip of yourself. Who the fuck are you talking about, man? You guys haven't won a conference before we existed, and also you had 3 wooden spoons in a row back in the 2010s, and you're also down there at the bottom of the table with us, and you've lost 2 games against us this year. I don't know what Knights fans are doing talking shit about any other team, but who was the team that the Knights beat at home this season? The Dolphins in their first home game of the season, they won 26-12 over the Dolphins, and then their next home game they lost 20-4 to the Tigers. Then they lost 34-14 to the Sharks at home. Lost 24-20 to the Gold Coast Titans at home, and then when they were up 20-0 in that game before losing 24-20, and then they also lost to the Eels 28-6, who were second last. So they lost to the last place team and second last team at home this year, which is yeah, wild. And then they went and beat the Panthers 25-6. They're a bit of a random team. You know, they can go and do that. The Panthers are getting better of late, but, you know, what does that really kind of say? So, yeah, look, I'm going to take Manly here. I definitely am not surprised with a surprise. I'm not surprised with a surprise because I know what this competition is like in 2025, especially considering, and we're going to go into the ladder now, from last place in 17th, which is my team, the Titans, but equal with the Knights and the Eels, from dead smack last on 10 points, all the way up to the top 8 is only 2 wins. It's only 4 points separating, right? So that is a big switch. That is a big switcheroo in regards to how close it is, right? When I say big switcheroo, I mean that is a close competition. All up to 7th, equal 7th is 14th points. So from 17th to 7th is only 2 wins separating them, only 4 points, and 15 points is what the Cowboys are on 6 with their draw. So it's only 5 points there. So it's a really, really close season this year. I think you can pretty much wipe out the Knights, the Eels, and the Titans, to be completely honest with you. The Panthers, you give them a little bit of a chance there still, even though they're in the bottom 4. But technically, you know, if you go on that 10-game win streak, Newcastle, maybe you put yourself back up into the mix. But all right, into the ladder now. So the Knights, they are in 15th position on 10 points, equal with the Eels and the Titans. They've got minus 69 though, so their points differential is better than the Eels, which is minus 87, and it is better than the Titans, which is minus 112, the worst points differential in the competition. So look, if they lose this game, they would have to lose by 18 points or more to go below the Eels today, and they would have to lose by about 44 odd points to go below the Titans. No, I think even more. No, it is 44. Yeah, 79, 89, 99, 109. Yeah, 43, 44 points to go below the Titans today. Maybe. Hey, go Manly. go Manly. Go Manly today. I don't think so, but there is a world, considering that the Knights can't really seem to score points. Their defense isn't atrocious. It's actually been pretty good for the most part this season, but I think that's kind of been falling away a little bit of late, to be fair. Maybe in the last 4 or 5 weeks for the Knights, their defense hasn't been as good as it was at the start of the season, but their defense for the majority has been actually really good. It's just they've been slipping a little bit of late. So, look, if they lose this game, yes, there is a chance they go into last place, because if the Eels beat the Dogs, doubt it. But maybe. If the Titans beat the Broncos, please, the Knights could go into last place. Now, if they win this game, they would, for the time being, go above the Panthers, who are on 11 points. The Panthers play the Tigers this week. I tip the Panthers. So I probably would expect the Knights to drop below them, but they would go above the Panthers for now. And then there's the big group of 12 points of Tigers, Roosters, Broncos, and Dolphins. Now, the Knights with their minus 69 is still the worst of that bunch, but Tigers are on minus 58. So if the Knights won by 11 points or more, they would go above the Tigers today. They would have to win by about 50 odd. About 50 to go above the Roosters today. No, sorry, they can't, because the Roosters have a bye. So they cannot go above them. Long story short, the highest I can see the Knights finishing this weekend is probably going to be in 15th, regardless of a win. But there is a chance of them going to 14th. I personally have the Panthers beating the Tigers. But if the Tigers win... Oh, actually, no. One of those 2 teams will go above them. They're the 2 teams right there. Didn't even think about that. So regardless, the highest they can go is actually into 14th position. And if the Tigers beat the Panthers, they will go into 14th. If the Panthers beat the Tigers, then it will just depend on points differential there. So the Knights aren't going to be doing too much switching, regardless of win or lose. But they just don't want to lose by a hefty margin because they could go last tonight if they lost by like 45 points. On the other side, Manly, who are in 7th position, they're at 14 points. Now, just quickly, the Roosters with their 12, they got up to 14 alongside Manly, but Roosters minus 22, Manly plus 46. So as long as Manly aren't losing by about 100 billion, like they have to lose by like 60, they're not going below the Roosters this weekend. If they were to lose, though, the Dragons play the Dolphins. The Dragons are on 14, the Dolphins are on 12. Now, the Dolphins actually have a really good points differential. So this is why this game is actually really important for Manly, because Dragons have a plus 3, whilst the Dolphins have a plus 42. But the Dragons are already on 14 points with Manly. So one of those teams probably do go above Manly, provided there is a win there for the Dolphins, and provided Manly lose, the Dragons or the Dolphins probably go above them. Dragons definitely would, but the Dolphins would have to adjust the 4 points differential. So say Manly lost by 1, and then the Dolphins only won by 2, sure, they'd be below them still. But I would assume there was a bigger margin across the 2 games than just the 4. So if Manly lose, they would go down to at least 8th. The Rabbitohs play the Raiders. They could go below them. The Broncos, they've got a points differential of plus 14. Assumedly, Manly don't lose this game by a decent amount, and the Broncos don't win by a decent amount. Jeez, please, God help me. There is a chance that Manly could go down to 9th position, but that's pretty much all they'd be going down to. They're not going to be dropping off too far there. If they were to win this game, however, for the time being, they would go above the Cowboys. So the Cowboys play the Melbourne Storm this week in a big game. That's tomorrow. But they would go above the Cowboys for now. Their points differential plus 46 is better than the Cronulla Sharks in 5th position on 16 points, which is the only other team they could go above. So they would, for the time being, go into 5th position today if they were to win this game by 0.01 points. They would go into the top 5 there, but the Sharks do play the Warriors in a massive game. Really looking forward to that on Saturday. And then we'll see if the Sharks win that one, they'll go back above them. So look, if they win this game, I actually do think the Sharks win that game against the Wires at Sharky Park. I think it's at Shark Park, correct me if I'm wrong. I do think the Sharkies probably beat the Wires, even though it'll be a close game. Really good game there. I do have the Storm beat the Cowboys, though. So I would probably put Manly into 6th position based off of that. But a lot to play for here for Manly, just so that they can kind of really solidify themselves up there. And a lot to play for the Knights to really kind of push themselves away from that wooden spoon area and to slightly adjust their points differential. Again, they're not going to win by much if they do win by something. So it's not going to be a points differential kind of adjuster. But I guess if you do win this game, Newcastle, you can still kind of put yourselves around that top 8 battle. However, I seriously doubt the Knights are going to have enough in them to be making the 8 this year. And if they do, it's like, congratulations, you made the 8, but what was the point? Because you're not going to go win the comp, which is ultimately what we all want to do. Anyway, the point of the matter is that I've got Manly to win today. Let's see how it goes. But guys, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get to the chat. Let's see what you're saying. Screw this Telstra ad that's on right now. I'm never buying Telstra ever again because your ad sucks. Your ad sucks so bad. Your ad sucks so bad. But you know who doesn't suck so bad? Olivia Reed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Olivia Reed oh my goodness me. That's just bought me about $1 billion of these little herbal inhalers here in Thailand. $319.99 donation from Olivia. Get around ya. Get around you. She's also a new moderator, by the way, guys. We were looking for a new moderator, and Olivia's always here. And she's always supporting the content, so we appreciate Olivia. I know you guys all do, even though she's a Broncos fan. We can't be too much of friends this weekend, Olivia. No, Olivia. You might be a moderator now. You might be awesome, but dearie me, you're still a Broncos fan this week, and I've got to be very, very careful around you. But thank you very much. You know how much that means. I really do appreciate all your support, Olivia. And she says, another day, another dono. Here's some of my winnings from last week. We need Manly to win. Clayton, Olakwatu, and Tommy, $108 on the line. So this is the thing. So if you guys don't know, the reason why Olivia's donated that is because last week at the Raiders versus the Roosters game, she had like 5 try scorers or 4 try scorers plus also a couple of the side bets, and she always supports the channel when she wins and whatnot, and she got all those try scorers and plus also the winner of the game, and she needed Sandon Smith for 6 points, and they got a try, and he got the 6 points in the last couple of minutes. So that's part of the winnings there. Appreciate you, Olivia. Thank you very much. Josh says, yeah, everything's great, mate. Also, Olivia, you got any bets for this match? Olivia always has bets on. Such a whiz, Josh. Come on. Prey Suwana says, I'm nervous this game regardless of Knights' form. Hopefully Manly can string a few wins together. Yeah, look, Prey, I think that every game in the NRL this year has been so up and down. You don't know what you're going to expect. Maybe you expect to see, like... expect the unexpected. The NRL this year is all over the shop. Anything can happen, man. That's why when Queensland win by 50 in game 2, everyone's not going to be surprised by it. But point of the matter is that I wouldn't go into any game expecting anything, because every single team from 1 through to 17 has problems. Every single team. The best one right now, I would say across the board, is the Raiders. Even though they're not first, but they could go to first this weekend. They could go to first this weekend if they beat the Rabbitohs, and then also the Bulldogs lose to the Eels. The Raiders would actually go into the top spot this weekend. So a lot to play for both those teams this weekend, the Raiders and the Dogs. Well, the point of the matter is that yes, anything can happen, bro. Sean James, it sounds good from Bunfu, bro. Get around you, son. Get around you, Sean. That's a loan right there. TD Tyrock says, hey, mate, how have you been? Going all right, man. Getting a lot fitter, getting a lot healthier. It's been... Shit, how long have I been here now in Hua Hin? 3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks, and mate, I'm absolutely flying. I don't know, you might be able to notice it, you might be able to see the difference, but there is a gigantic difference between what I was. And I'll post it up on Instagram and stuff when we finish. I've still got about 2.5 weeks left, and then I might extend it for a little bit, but I'm probably going to go see my dad in Vietnam for a little bit. He lives in Vung Tau near Ho Chi Minh. But no, loving it, man. Just getting fitter, getting healthier, so I can put myself back on the right track. And some great people here, some great food in Thailand, great people, and yeah, no, it's good. Good time. Good time. JC's a sexy man. He's a member for 37 months. Get it around here. And also, JC is a sexy man. You are correct there. JC is a very sexy man. But appreciate for being a member for 37 months. Daz, mate, welcome to being a BKR supporter as a starter. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. As a starter? Is this your first time on the channel, Daz? Welcome, mate. Welcome. Appreciate you. I'm glad you subscribed, Daz, mate. Yeah, wow. Olivia says, no, he's taking us to the Karate Kid. Surely that would be enough to rent out the movie theater. Don't think so. Actually, how much is it to rent out a movie theater? But also, I'm going to rent out a movie theater in Hua Hin in Thailand. So, listen, I can do it over this weekend when there's not a game on. You guys just need to be able to get to Thailand to be able to do this this Karate Kid watch along. Good luck. But I went to the movies the other day. It's like Thailand propaganda before every single movie. They do like a video on the King of Thailand. Josh says, also Blaze, have you heard there are talks of Big Tina to replace Chez as skipper for the Maroons, as well as Dearden taking over as number 7? Have heard this. I think Chez still probably plays in that 7 role. Tino as captain, I love that. He is a workhorse. He is a great man. He's got a great work ethic, and I think that would be a fantastic choice there. I don't think Munster's the guy for it. I don't think Harry Grant's the guy for it. You're not going to probably give it to the fullback in Kalamponga. Who else would be a shout? I don't really see anybody else really being a massive shout there. And Tom Dearden, sure, but I think Tino is the guy. Yeah, I think Tino is the guy. So maybe that could be my Titans bias. Maybe that could be because I love Tino. He's a beautiful man, but I think that's the right decision, for sure. JC's a sexy man says, I have Manly to win, Marty to score, Sharp to score, and Favalado to score for $112. So what you're telling me, JC's a sexy man, is that you've tipped Manly to win, but you've got 2 Knights tries and 1 Manly try. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You've also put 2 tries for a team that is the worst attack in the competition right now in this season by 50-odd points. Like, sure, it could happen, but where was your thought process here, my friend? Where was your thought process? Manly are walking out onto the field right now, baby. They are walking out of the field. I'm going to refresh this now before Jay tells me to refresh. I got to get ahead of him. I got to get ahead of him, son. He's a dangerous man. And also, there's like a piece of hair that's like really annoying me right now. Because I did my Muay Thai thing and then came here for a shower. And now my hair is not done. So I need to get like, maybe I should put a hat on or something. I don't know, it's really annoying me. Camel says, go to Mighty Seagull. Oh, Manly. Good luck. I hope you win by 50. Because if you do, then Titans aren't last today. Brett says, put your house on Newcastle. Probably not going to do that. I've lost plenty of houses on the Gold Coast Titans in my life. So I'm not going to lose another one here on Newcastle. No. What do you guys reckon be match of the round? Match of the round. Bulldogs Eels could have a bit of something about it. Honestly, Titans Broncos could be good, but you're more so looking at Sharks Warriors. But usually when you look at the match of the round and the most obvious one doesn't end up being it. So I'm going to put a shout of Bulldogs Eels or Broncos Titans. Because Broncos Titans are both pretty poor teams right now. Both pretty poor teams. And Titans won 3 games in a row against them, but they are in last position. But the Broncos are playing like a team in last position. So, I don't know. It could be a bit of an exciting one there at Suncorp. Could be a bit of an exciting one. Isha says Knights 12, Manly 26. All right, guys, well, the game is about to start, so smack that thumbs up button and subscribe. Get your predictions in right now. The Manly will kick this ball off. And Manly have been quite inconsistent this season, even though they had a really good game against the Bronx last week. Knights, Frizzell annihilated by Jay Trebojevic on return. Welcome back, Jakey T. Bray says Manly still make the 8 with tonight's lineup, I think. I could still see Manly coming in fourth position. If they play to their potential, man, I could still see Manly coming in the top 4. I don't think they're going to necessarily win the comp this year, but then again, you know, they did well last year to knock off the Dogs in the first week, and unfortunately they weren't quite ready just yet. I don't think they win the comp this year, but I do still have them as quite a competitive team overall, and I think they could finish quite high. There's no top 4 spot really locked up right now, except for... Like, you should say the Dogs, you should say the Raiders, but I don't want to solidify anything this season so far. The Knights will kick this ball down to Manly at the 10, where Tommy Talau, who's had a great time at Manly since coming across from the Tigers, and he'll be taken back to the 20 on first tackle. Josh says, as a risk supporter, I've got to say, Panthers vs Tigers, Kles vs Romy should be fun to watch. Skidder Media with a $3 do donation. Get around you says, hey man, hello Skidder Media, appreciate you. I'm going to skip a little bit to the front of the chat here, guys, just because the game is on now and I've got to get past all that at the back. And it says, Zesby, it's on free to wear. Someone's asking me to put the game on live. They get a job. So Manly will be third tackle, and Ethan Bullimore, he'll get his ball to the 35 on fourth tackle. Jared Farm Money says, Blaze, have you given your thoughts on the new Titans signing? Do you think other Doggies players could be making their way to the GC? Not necessarily, but I think Kurt Mann's a good signing. I think that'll help us out. He's a great utility, and he does run the ball hard, and I think that the Dogs are making a few adjustments right now, which are really confusing considering that they are in first position. You don't really see this. Usually when a team is in first position, not a good kick there from Cherry Evans. It'll be nice to get the ball at 25. I like Kurt Mann. I think he's a hard worker, and we want to see a hard worker. I just hope he's not coming to the Gold Coast for, just a bit of a... Oh, Caleb Pong has been rocked! Olakawati said, get out my face, Caleb Ponga. Get out my face. Scoreboard still needs refreshing, does it? Well, that is always Skunkle's fault. Blame Skunkle for sure. It's definitely Skunkle's fault. Oh my gosh, Skunkle makes you sick. He does, doesn't he? He just does. What an absolute muppet that Skunkle bloke is. So yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, my hopes and dreams of the Titans are broken and dead at this point of the year, pretty much every single season. But no, look, I'm looking forward to a bit of a change, and hopefully we can move into a better direction long term. Let's just see if this organisation can hold itself accountable for once. So 15 metres out here from their line, first tackle. Lehi Pawade gives it off to... here's a chance. Chezik gives it off here to Olakawatu. Olakawatu away here to 30 to 35. Basically the 40 second tackle. Olivia says, I'm on Manly today. Well, I think we all are. Dasmate says, get shit on, Knights 13 plus. Okay, well, I think you need serious help, but then again, we've known that for a while, haven't we, Daz? Seb Watson says, question is, what has Olivia back? So that's a great question. Jay Trebojevic up to Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks off to Lehi Pawade. Then to Tolata Kuala. 45 metres out, fourth tackle. JJ says, Chip Butter, I've got a couple of centres for any time. Who have you got? And how much do we win? Eh? How much do we win, JJ? JC is a sexy man, says, if my bet hits, I'll give 2 subs. Good stuff, we'd like to see. Yeah, Pong, a good grab at the 15 on his own side of the field. Good grab. Kurt Mann for the Beaches. Yeah, get around him. Get around him, man. Curtis Moore on some of the Titans. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm all over the shop, but you know what I mean. Listen, I literally just ran to get here. Listen, why don't you just give me a break for a second, you know? Why don't you just give me a break? Livy says, I'm going to be there on Saturday, so I hope we win. No, you don't. Was it last year someone broke their chair in the crowd? I don't know, but Broncos, no. No, we can't accept them having a win this weekend. No, Olivia. No, we're going for 4 on the trot. Titans are going for 4 on the trot against the old Brisbane Broncos. Yes. Don't forget it, Broncos fans. Don't forget it. 4 in a row. R-O-W. Something New South Wales fans don't understand what a row is, because you cannot have 1 in a row, but you can have 3, which is what we've got right now against the Broncos. So Manly, second tackle. They'll get this ball out here to the 30. Jack Kirkman says, do you reckon Payne Haas will leave the Broncos? I think there's a good shout. Last week, I think I said I don't see Payne Haas leaving the Broncos. Now I think there is a good shout. That doesn't mean I think he's going to go. There is a chance that Khalees will go across to the Broncos, because I think he is a little bit out of favour at the Titans. I love the guy. You know, I want nothing but the best for him. But unfortunately, I do think that the Titans are going to go through a bit of a change of direction with a lot of players and a lot of this organisation right now. So, yeah, look, good flick on there from Manly. They got 3-0 out here. Tolta Quarter, Tolta he kicks it through. Where is it going to be for Leo Hapawani? Truts and Melly. Boom. Slap. And Leo Hapawani looks like he might be injured right now. Touchwood is alright. God bless him. But it is a try time for the Manly. 4-0. Get gum. What should I order for dinner? Something healthy, man. Get on my bandwagon. Isha says, I don't know, but I just can't see the Dogs winning the comp. I agree with you, but I'll get called a Dogs hater if I say it. I think there's a long way to go before we know anything about this season, to be fair. I would lean towards Melbourne. Why? More if Storm versus the Dogs in the grand final, maybe even the Raiders too. Well, the Raiders gave a big lead against the Dogs the other week. They gave a massive lead against the Dogs. I don't know what. Maybe it's just because they're not... So, NRL fans have been conditioned, right? So just a reminder, 4-0 Manly, they do score through Leo Hapawade. NRL fans have been conditioned to expect a now Panthers. Oh, wait a second. This might not be a try. This might be a drop ball here from Lehigh. He has... Ooh, this is actually close. There might be some separation here. They're going to check it. They are going to check it here. They are going to check this one. This might be a no try. Does it just fall out of his hands into his... I'd like to see a better angle. Here we go. Yeah, the right hand. Yeah, there is a knock on. So it'll be a no try Manly. No try. No try Manly. Based on that one try from last week, that's a try. But it will be a no try Manly, so knock on, and Knights will get the ball to hit the 20, but it is ominous signs for the Knights there. Very ominous. That was very easy. They had a 3-0 out in that left-hand side. What was that Knights defence? They had a 3-0. It's just the fullback got across from Newcastle, Ponga, and they kicked it through. It was actually good cover defence from Ponga, who really, shorted that side, so it didn't look like they had enough space, but they did. Tyson Frizzell also needs to come off for HIA. He doesn't know where he is. Wow. He is wobbling around. Daryl Wellis has got a bet of Faulalo, Garrett, Gagai, and Sharp to score to win $1,755 off $30. Any leg fails, cash back. Mate, can't wait for you to donate that $175. Josh Griffin says the Seagulls are 11-16 at McDonald Jones Stadium against the Knights. Last time Manly won, there was April 7th, 2022, 30-6 flogging. Okay, sure, but then let's put it this way. The Titans hadn't won in Newcastle for a very long time. Also, Titans would always smack the Knights at Seabus, but the Knights would always smack the Titans at McDonald Jones Stadium. And that obviously changed this year when the Knights were up 20-0 and lost 24-20. So I wouldn't necessarily go via the past based off of how this Knights team has been playing so far this season. That is a high tackle against Manly. So try into a no try into a penalty for Newcastle. Casey says no bets on tonight, but I reckon Manly got to win. Yeah, I think Manly should win, but this is just saying, the NRL this year has been all over the shop. Jared Farr Money says Melbourne, who are still favourites to win, haven't been top of the table since round 3, so still time for them to fix their issues and take the minor prem. Sure, but Melbourne haven't not looked convincing at any point this season, except for when they beat the Warriors by a good margin, and when they beat the Tigers 64-0, which is a very, very much Melbourne result there, and a very Tigers result, even though the Tigers have been better. So Melbourne have a lot of issues still. I have a lot of issues. Jay just says, Jake and Olakuatu, you know you're getting 10%, baby. Baby, let's get it. Second tackle now for the Knights at the 30. Brocky Sports, get ready, son. Appreciate you, Brocky. Much love, man. Oh, the Manly Seagulls are on a roll tonight with some big hits. It's Jake Trbojevic again, dude. He's coming in for a romper stomper. Romper stomper. Isha says New South Wales Knights in a row when you had Queensland born players and Queensland playing players. So it's going to be 6 again. And not Tyson Frizzell, it's going to be Matt Croker at the 10. First tackle. Incorrect, Isha. That was when you could allow the only time players were... The eligibility rules was that you had to be... Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me go through this, and then we'll get into how you're wrong. Second tackle here, 3 metres out. They go out to the left-hand side. Crossland gives it off to Croker. Then Thomas Cant is going to be 5 metres out from the line. Third tackle. 7 minutes into the game here. Crossland, he's going to go out to the left. Cogger, Kataponga underneath. Dylan Lucas, and Lucas will be manhandled by Ethan Bullimore. The Manly defensively, they're coming in for some big shots. Rolls it back here to Crossland. Crossland goes himself! Oh, 1 metre out. There's someone here, I think it's Seb Watson, who hates Phoenix Crossland with a passion. He calls him Noodlehead every week. That's a good kick, actually. Oh, it will end up being a knock-on or dropout. I think it's a dropout here from Manly. I think it's a knock-on here, a dropout here from Manly coming up. Anyway, so Isha, to correct you in regards to New South Wales 19 in a row. So back then there was only a New South Wales Rugby League, right? The BRL, the Queensland Rugby League, Brisbane Rugby League, whatever, was the only professional competition there in Queensland, and it was sub-rate comparatively to New South Wales Rugby League, which was at the top of its game. Now Origin was selected based upon where you were playing. That's a knock-on from Newcastle. That's a penalty against Newcastle. Manly will get the ball here. Good short dropout. Ends up being a penalty against Newcastle for being offside. So basically, you can only be selected based off of where you were playing. So the professional competition was in New South Wales. There was no professional competition in Queensland comparatively. And so the Queensland competition was much lesser than the one in New South Wales. That's why in 1980 it was switched around to a more professional competition. And that is when Queensland absolutely slapped it down with the more Origin series. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk here, Isha. You learned today. Skidamedia says, I got an MMA fight in 3 weeks, currently 2-0. Good stuff, Skidamedia. Yeah, no, I'm not good. I got slaughtered today because I had to do only half because I had to get back for this. But I got slaughtered today in the ring. Gee whiz. I don't know if I can even see. I've got these pants I bought in India, but I can't show you my bruises. Shit. Man, I tell you what. My kicks, buddy, have just been bruising up my legs at the moment. So third tackle here for Manly at the 50. It's good fitness, but praises Manly are bashing them in defence so far. They are so far. Oh, he failed his HIA, Tyson Frizzell. He failed his HIA, so he will not be back today. 6 again for Manly, 35 metres out here from Newcastle line. Failed his HIA. Helen says, you know what? I think that it will be golden point. I disagree, but I would love to see it. I disagree, but I would love to see it. This is the best game ever. Don't know if I'm going to say this is going to be the best game ever, but it's a good fun game so far. Third tackle now, 25 metres away here from Knights line. Manly on the run again. 10 minutes into the game here, guys. 30 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe on Kawatu. Taking down 8 metres out. Thumbs up and subscribe. Fourth tackle should be 6 again. They will get 6 again, but they might not need it. And that's not going to be advanced. Yeah, it's going to be a penalty. Penalty, Manly. Never square. So it's going to be penalty to Manly. Josh says, not our fault Queensland caused players to come down to the promised land for league. New South Wales didn't ban betting, so there was more money to be made here. No, it is your fault, Josh. Actually, specifically, individually, it's your fault. Individually, yours and Anthony Milford's, because it's always Milford's fault. So Cherry Evans gives it to Croker. Croker to Jasvunga, and also Skunkle. Definitely Skunkle. Ish says, no, I was just joking. I just saw that sat on some anti-Queensland propaganda post. Yeah, but Ish says, see, this is the thing. You don't listen to anti-Queensland propaganda because, unfortunately, it's from the same people who created hashtag 1 in a row. Second tackle now, 7 metres out from the line. Olakawatu rolls it back here to Lachlan Croker, and Croker gives it to Jake Trebojevic. Trebojevic up to Luke Brooks. Their defence on this left-hand side looks weird, bro, this Knights team. The right side defence for Newcastle, left side when Manly are attacking, looks really strange today. Out to Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks gives it Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans underneath to Ruben Garrick, who looks for the hole. He'll be 4 tackle about 7 metres away from the line. 4 tackle. They give it out to Jake Trebojevic. Trebojevic to Luke Brooks. Again, this left-hand side defence looks strange, but good cover until it's not. What was that from Totau Koala, who throws the ball with an offload, but he goes the opposite direction, knock on. Knock on. Lehigh gone. Okay, so Manly have lost Lehigh Hopewade, and the Knights have lost Tyson Frizzell. So who goes into the fullback now? Would Totau Koala go into the fullback for the Manly? Koala was in the centres just then. But considering that there's now a failed HIA here for Hopewade, apparently, what are they doing? Maybe putting Koala into the fullback and then pushing Ben Trebojevic to centre and bringing Waddle into the back row or something like that? Or Ethan Bullimore maybe back row or something like that. I don't know. That's an interesting one there for Manly. But for the Knights, they can obviously adjust the Tyson Frizzell HIA. Still sucks, though, for them. So Knights ball here, second tackle at 20. Daryl says, damn Hopewade out with a HIA. Not good for me. Super coach. Also KFC snack pack back for $6.95. Okay, what are you? A KFC? What's this? Are you getting paid to promote KFC here or something? What's this? You think I'm allowed to eat KFC right now? What do you think I'm allowed to eat KFC? I'm not allowed to eat KFC. I don't even think they have KFC here in Hawaii. They've got everything but I don't think they've got KFC. I haven't had fast food since I was in India, actually. Shit, since I was in Jaipur. Damn, that's a while ago now. So Manly will get it back here through Tommy Talau with a good run of the 25. Praise Suwana says that depending on concussion grade, Lehigh might not play against the Titans next week, but Turbo will probably be back. No. Turbo definitely won't be back. He never has a good game against the Gold Coast Titans. He always runs for about 700 metres against us and 74 tries, but I think he's too scared to take on Tino. So third tackle now at the halfway point. Manly off to Jazz Tavanga. Tavanga off to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans out now to Koala. Koala off to Garrick. Garrick gets away. Garrick gets away. He's through. And that is a try time for Tolatau Koala. Try time for Manly. And I feel like Koala is playing the fullback role because he's floated from the left all the way to the right and he's scored on the right-hand side as the left centre. So I feel like he's got back to the fullback and he will score right there. Bing, bong, boom. Try time for Manly. You can't take this one away from him. It was a nice one from Garrick, who just kind of pieces up the defense here. Look at that. He just gets around the winger of James Schiller, who's actually centre. Greg Martiu out on the wing. And he's just able to kind of curl around and come inside and then pass it off to Koala. Where Caleb Ponga tries to get the intercept, but he just couldn't get it. So try time, Manly. Travis, he said, I think the bonus for Queensland for Game 2 is it's over in the West. Everyone has to travel. I don't know what that... what? I don't know why that's a bonus for Queensland, considering that I believe it's a Queensland home game. So what's the bonus for Queensland when they've never won in Perth? It's a great question, Travsy. Josh says, I apologise for screwing Queensland over back then. Yeah, you really should be apologetic, Josh. You really should be apologetic. It's actually quite disgraceful. He says, GG's, my fantasy's cooked. Andrew says, Garrick fullback? Nah, Garrick will be centre. If you've got Tolatau Koala, you've got Lee Hopewade, you've got Trebojevic, you've got Garrick probably fourth string. And then Garrick will hit it on through. So it is 6-0 here. Manly after 14 minutes into the game. JC, the sexy man, says, I took your advice and got a snack pack that has meat and vegetables. A snack pack that has vegetables in it? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing? Have a word. I want you... listen here, JC, the sexy man. I'm sure there's a mirror close to you, alright? I want you to go to that mirror. I want you to look yourself dead in the eyes and say to yourself, what am I doing with my life? I've got vegetables in my snack pack. Oh my gosh. What's happening in the world nowadays, ladies and gentlemen? What is happening in the world nowadays? Try time, bing, boom, boom. Mother bitch, he's added in a boom here, Brocky. You even got me. Try time, bing, bong, boom. Mother bitch. All right. Seagulls hoping to try the past 6 games in Newcastle. So Jazz Tavanga gets his ball here to the 22. Josh says, didn't she need Koala or was it Olakuatu? I'm not sure. She's got to remind us. Jazz Tavanga. Jeez, there's a few injuries happening in this game. He's grabbing at his left elbow here. Damn, he's grabbing... Oh, sorry, his right elbow. And he's got a lot of strapping there already. What happens here? He gets pulled... Oh, yeah. He's not coming back. Damn. That's not a natural move for the arm, and he's already got strapping on that arm. God bless him, man. Nah, I don't think that this is a penalty. I think he's grabbing onto Crossland, and his arm's been pulled. I don't think that the bunk will have anything to do with this. JC Sex Man, just let you know, I'm eating a snack pack with garlic, chili, and barbecue sauce, and I'll be thinking about you with every bite. That's a bit strange, you know? But that sounds good with the garlic, chili, and barbecue sauce, because that's the Holy Trinity, isn't it? But, dearie me. Thinking about me with every bite, it's a bit odd there, buddy. Bit odd. Fourth tackle now for Manly at the 35. We find in the West, Prey says, given there's now 4 Queensland teams, I'm surprised the NRL hasn't done a doubleheader local derby between the 4 teams. Why? You're going to get a good crowd for the derbies anyway. Why would they do that? You're going to get a big crowd for, Titans, Dolphins and Broncos, Cowboys regardless, or Titans, Broncos and maybe not Cowboys, Dolphins, I don't know, but you're going to get a good crowd regardless. The doubleheaders and Magic Round is usually used to kind of put throwaway games at. If you look at the games, majority of the time, besides maybe the Saturday night game on a Magic Round and maybe the big time game on a Friday, maybe, because usually that's Bronx, they usually throw away a lot of the games. Look at the schedule. And if it works out to be good in the year, that's great, but they do the scheduling last year, And it's like they kind of just assume they're not going to be great matchups, but hope that they'll be better. So if there's a good game, it's usually a bit of random. So 4 tackle, and the Knights, Kai Pearce-Paul. Then they pass it down. They'll be at the 50 on 5th tackle to Dane Gagai. Chips of vegetables. You need help. So Manly will get it through Tolotau Koala here at the 5. Brings it back to the 10, to the 15. But a few injuries here. So Manly will be down to 2 in the bench for the rest of the game. The Knights down to 1 on the bench for the rest of the game. 3 in the bench for the rest of the game. And that'll be a good run from Manly's Clayton Fawalalo to the 30 on 2nd tackle. With how many injuries are happening in this game, I reckon Turbo might have probably exploded if he was playing. That's a great point. Jay Jabojevic gives it to Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks underneath, and Manly at the 45, 4 tackle. I need Fawalalo, Olukwatu, and Tommy Talau. Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is knowing it doesn't do in a fruit salad. But Manly what's happening? Manly get this ball to the 35. Jared, a snack pack with vegetables. It's crazy, Jared. It's offensive, actually. It's offensive. It's actually illegal in about 13 American states. 13 United States. 13 states, especially in Illinois. Especially. If you go to Illinois and you say, I'm getting vegetables in a snack pack, I think you're in jail for at least 20 years. Australia, it's the death penalty. So JC's a sexy man. This is what you're looking towards. So 4 tackle now for Newcastle at the 24. Not making a great deal of meals. Andrew says, Blaze, what have you fed Trav? It's hearing me. Trav's all over the shop, but Fletcher Sharpie's away. Oh, he gets the offload away to Kai Pearce-Paul. And he gets the offload away again. Back to the 40, then off to Dane Gagai. They actually kind of lost about 8 metres by that offload. No, they lost about 8 metres on the offload. Fair tackle now. Praises. People were saying this game was going to be a snooze fest, but this game isn't bad so far. That's what I'm saying. You look at the draw, and it will always, you'll look at it and say Sharks Warriors should be the best game this weekend. But that's why, good hit there. Very good hit by James Schiller. So Manly ball at 25. You look at the draw, and you'll say Sharks Warriors looks like it's going to be the best game. Guarantee that's not that great of a game. Would love for it to be the game of the round because it would be awesome. But usually you look away from that, whatever says the best, and I would look towards Bulldogs Eels as a random one, or even Titans Broncos. And then you look at this being the worst game of the round. Potentially it could be something that you would never expect. Cherry Evans there for 40-20, but nowhere near the corner. And it'll be Callum Ponga grabs this ball at 15. Okay, so it's just making some chicken and rice and have avocado with it, nice and healthy. We love it. We love it. It's a penalty against Jay Jabojevic. Penalty against Jay Jabojevic. So the Knights will get out of their own 20. Helen says, Knights have the upper hand just because the Eagles have 2 good players down. No, Manly still have the upper hand because they're up 6-0 and they are the better team. Josh says, as long as the refs and bunker don't screw the game up, any game is a good watch. Agree. Unless it's Melbourne versus West Tigers, which was not fantastic to watch. It was 64-0. And I don't think the referees had too much involvement in that one. So 20 minutes gone in the first half, 20 minutes to go of the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. We'll be live for all 8 games this weekend. Is it 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 games this weekend. So Callum Ponga, that was good running, but that will be also a knock on. So not good end of play. So 0 tackle now for Manly at the 15. Potatoes are protein. Okay. Josh, did they say they got the no-try call against the Titans wrong last week or something? I mean, we all already knew it. It was the wrong call. Fuck Badger. I don't know if they were Did they? Did they come out and say it? Because they don't do the post-match... they're having a crack at Desi right now for criticising it. And it's like, you get some absolute muppets out there going, oh, it's the right call. Shut up, man. Stop it. Anyway, point of the matter is that game was a raw... Manly. Oh, no. It's been a play tripped up. Is that fine? He's just slipped over, apparently. So it's Knights ball to 50. They probably score if they don't slip over there. But yeah, Casey Badger, for some reason, she's always in the bunker against the Titans. And we've had a lovely time with her against the Raiders on multiple occasions in Canberra, and especially last week. Mitchell Vella Sports says, what is the fraud alert on the Storm and the Sharks for? Well, the Sharks speaks for itself. The Storm is because I thought they would be a lot better than they have been so far this season. And I think they're on fraud watch right now. They're on fraud alert right now. But it could easily go this week. Like, if the Sharks beat the Warriors and the Storm beat the... Shit, who did the Storm play this week? Knights here, 15 metres out, fit tackle. Storm play the Cowboys. Sure. You know, you beat the Cowboys, sure. You'll be taken off fraudulent. Out to Cogger to Kanaponga. Kanaponga kicks it through, and that is going to be a knock-on Manly. Oh, nearly ended up being a try, but it will be a knock-on Manly, so it'll be Knights ball at 10. Daryl Weller says, Raiders vs Rabbits has potential to be match of the round. Raiders bye next week. Hope that doesn't affect how they play. Don't think so. Rabbits have been quite disappointing. Like, they're sitting in 9th position. I had them for 7th position this year. Dragons and Rabbitohs have actually called pretty perfectly right now. I did have Dragons for 8th where they are, and I did have the Rabbitohs for 7th, so I'm 2 spots off there, but I'm happy with that. The top 3 I was obviously wrong with, but the Bulldogs I had in 6th, the Raiders I had in 9th. That was way higher than any of you lot at them. And then the Warriors, I had them well off. Yeah, look, I think that if you have teams in a relatively close area this year, you should be happy with yourself because it's a very hard year to predict. All right, so first tackle for Newcastle, 15 metres out. Now second tackle, 10 metres away. 18 minutes to go here in the first half. Badger is only a touch judge this week, but she'll be back in the bunker before you know it. Can you stop it? Don't give me a heart attack. Oh, it's knocked backwards and Manly get the ball. Why is that knock on Manly? Who knocked this ball on? Because it wasn't the... who knocked this ball on? They're going to challenge this here, Manly. Who knocked this ball? Unless the knock-on has come from the pass back and then a Manly player's touched it on the pass back. Because when he hit it, it went like so far back, it went to China, back that way. It's touched. How can you class this as a knock-on? How can you class that as a knock-on? Stop it. Unless it touches Cogger here, but Luke Brooks comes in and it's knocked backwards. It's fine. This is knocked back. It doesn't touch Cogger and Luke Brooks is knocking it backwards. Yeah, no, it's not. It's gone backwards. It's fine. That's not a knock on. That pass went to you, John. Okay, thank you, Bunker. Just checking which direction it goes. It goes backwards, so that means it's an illegal play from Luke Brooks. It's clear that it goes backwards, Bunker. Oh, we got there. Well done. Well done. Happy 54th birthday to me, BKR Sport. That's how long it took to see a pretty obvious call that went backwards. So Manly ball here will be about 6 metres out from their own line. Gee whiz, can't believe it. We actually got a correct call there from the bunker. Challenge successful. Only took them 34 years, but at least we got the right call. Rice says Badger is only a touch judge this week, but I read that comment already, gave me nightmares. Praise says, by the way, the KFC in Thailand isn't that great, but there's some interesting meals on the menu given it's Asia. You'll get rice with spicy chicken and for some reason a custard tart. That's strange, but you know where is really good KFC? India. Did you expect that? I don't know. India. In Delhi, I had some great KFC, dude. I got really bad food poisoning from McDonald's in Delhi, but KFC was actually really good. But also, to clarify for people, in India, obviously there's no like heavy meat, like there's no cow meat, right? So there's no big, there's a Big Mac, but it's only chicken. So the only things they really sell there is chicken and veg. There's no cow meat, so you can't get like a quarter pounder. You can't get a Big Mac. It's called the Grand Mac, which is just chicken. But it was good, except for the fact that I got sick. Fit tackle, but KFC never got sick from it. It was actually really tasty, which I didn't expect at all. So Manly now will boot this ball down to Greg Matsu at the 15, to the 20, the 25, and he'll be taken out at the 30. Good run. Mitchell, Cowboys are not a team to compare. If the Storm don't win by a lot, they're still on fraud lot. Sure, but the Cowboys are in 6th position. They're a bit of an awkward 6th right now, but they're still in 6th position. Third tackle here for the Knights at the 45. Josh says, the reason she's in the bunker again this week is because she got the call wrong. That's pretty much... Oh, okay, fair call. That's pretty much an admission from the NRL. Well done. I love that 2 points they give us because of it. Not that we would have won, but like it changed the game completely. So fit tackle now at the Knights, the 44. That's the thing. Like I criticise Casey Badger and say that's a dog shit call, which would have ended up being... Well, ended up being a 12-point swing. We would have been within 6. No, it was actually an 18-point swing because we would have been down by 6 instead we went down by 12 based off of that. So we went down by 18. So it was significant. Anyway, long story short, it was a significant call that Chisholm up it. Second tackle now, and Clayton Fa'alalo out to the 42 on third tackle. 15 minutes to go the first half. She's 54 now, Blaze. Yeah, Andrew. No, waiting for that bunker call really took a long time. So it's been a good time here on the channel. This stream has gone for 23 years. So, awesome stuff. Jay says, hard work that bunker, all that technology and screens and slow-mos and stuff. Tough gig. Very tough gig. Yeah, especially considering they apparently, which they've never proven, but apparently get more angles than we do. So they get about 1 billion trillion angles. I'm not sure why they don't want to show the public these angles, but is what it is. And Ponga will grab it. Good little step around 2. Might get away here. No, we'll be taking out the 15. They also need to pack it in with fining coaches for calling out unfair calls. Hurt feelings aren't good enough for disciplinary action or something. What's funny, so if you're right and they have disciplined Casey Badger and they've moved her off the bunker because they agree that it was a bad call, then why is Des in trouble for calling out the bad call? If you have admitted, as the organisation, the NRL is, that call was the incorrect call by demoting Badger, then why are you saying that Des Hasler is in the wrong for criticising a call that you could argue cost us in the game? I don't believe it does. At the end of the day, we made 16 plus errors. But it changed the game completely. So why is Des Hasler at fault for criticising something that was the incorrect call based off of you demoting your official? It's not rocket science. Jared says, I'm still waiting to go to KFC Japan to buy myself that bouquet of chicken they do on Valentine's Day. Dude, KFC in Japan's massive. They have KFC. All of them have KFC on Christmas. It's so random, but sure. Do they have the New South Wales Blues meal? That would suck, that meal, Daz, mate. Dearie me. That would definitely taste like... That would taste like something you don't want to taste. Dearie me. Ola Kawatu gets away from a couple of tackles. He's still going here, the 50. Good run at the 48. Good post-contact measures there, about 15. Yeah, no, Daz. Ew. Oh, 6 again now for Manly. Now first tackle, and it will be 12-4 Sipley at the 35. Rice said this weekend isn't much better for us. I think Klein is the on-field ref. Prefer that than Casey Badger, but Manly through the hole, but Calipon comes up and stops at 15 metres out, second tackle. Lachlan Croker, Manly on the attack now. Nathan Brown gives it off to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans underneath to Sipley, and Sipley will be 10 metres away, third tackle. At least this hasn't been the blowout that we expected just yet. Nathan Brown, Luke Brooks back underneath to Ben Trbojevic, who cuts around, still back into the middle, slips over. Luckily, he doesn't get injured there because he would have come down around the knee. Oh, that's going to be an easy try here for Sipley. He does. He scores right next to the post. That was an easy try there for Sipley. As soon as he got the ball, I could see there was a gap there. Callum Ponga wasn't going to be able to stop the big front row forward. And Manly score right next to the post here to make it 10-0, and they will get the kick to make it 12-0. 12 minutes 50 to go here the first half. Jared Fart Money says they won't show the public these bunker camera angles, but they'll show the reporters so that they can just say, yeah, they showed it to us, I was there. I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They cannot make the tackle on Sipley, who's back in today after how many weeks? Was he off for a couple of weeks with injury? Josh says because they want to protect their officials, something to do with retention. That's great, but how do you protect your officials? No, how do you protect your officials? How do you expect the game to be? How do you expect the game to be running at the quality rate that you expect it to achieve if you don't hold the accountability? And it's like everyone's thinking what the coach is saying. If the coach is making a critique about the referees and it's based off an objective opinion, then I disagree with them coming out and calling it out. But that was a blatant call, and that everyone agreed with, right? Besides a couple of knob jockeys that... Anyway, point matter is that I stand by Des. I agree that he should be allowed to say what he said. And I do that with any team, not just my team. Any team, I'm happy to say that as long as you've got legitimate reason to critique it, then great. But there's coaches like Ricky Stewart who will complain and criticise anything, anytime Dick and Harry, just for a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun, and he will go pretty overboard. So there's coaches like Ricky that kind of ruin it for everybody else, because that guy can never he can never say that his team wasn't good enough to win. Like, look at me, right? I say that, yes, that call was bad, but we also made 16 plus errors, and we don't necessarily deserve to win, but the call was bad. Ricky, he'll blame the referees. He'll straight up up go into that press conference and say it was the referee's fault we lost. How can we overturn this amount of calls? And it's like, he called the Titans cheaters last year when the NRL admitted they made the wrong call that actually won the Raiders the game. And yet we were the cheaters. And that's the kind of guy Ricky Stewart is. So that's why you can't just allow anybody to say anything, because if you do, then Sticky Ricky Buddy Muppet is going to come out and just slander and slaughter for the sake of protecting his own team. But the criticism that Des had was legitimate. It was legitimate. So Ben Trebojevic here will get this ball to the 45 on 4 tackle. Mitchell with the $10 donation says, Knights are tanking hard for flag. Too bad Alex Caruso is the key to success. Thank you, mate. Thank you for reminding me about Alex Caruso. But knock on there from Luke Brooks. And it'll be Knights ball here at the 45 after a scrum. Thank you for the $10 donation, Mitchell. But no, the Titans are the ones who are going to be getting Cooper flag. Yes. So one says, can we send the Knights to Bali now? It'll be more fun to watch the Bali each week. Last time the Knights went to Bali, they actually came back the week after and flogged the Titans at Newcastle. So no, thank you. Then again, we've already won 2 games against them. Josh says, NRL said negative public remarks about match officials significantly hinder the recruitment and retention of match officials at the community and pathways tiers of the game. Don't disagree with that statement. I agree with that statement. I do think that it hinders people wanting to become official referees because it is a very big hindrance on the mental health. And it's like, when you're a referee, you are going to be criticised, but unfortunately, the world's fucked, and people are just disgusting, and they will make over the top remarks. Like kill yourself and all this kind of shit, right? Which isn't acceptable. And anybody who says this kind of stuff, please have a look at yourself in the mirror. You're an idiot. But the point is that the public is, that's a knock on there from the Knights, and man will get the ball here at the 22. Unfortunately, a lot of people in the public can't handle their emotions. Most of the time it's because they've had a bet on the game and their bet is lost. They've lost money because of it, which is on them. It's not on anybody else. And it's like, although there is a clear issue that needs to be addressed, the point of the matter is people don't know how to handle their emotions. So I agree with the NRL on that point, but that it's regardless, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. So I think there's going to be another way to go about it, because the coaches shouldn't have to pretend like everything's all hunky-dory and roses and daisies because of this. They shouldn't have to hold in their criticism, which is actually rugby league criticism. It's not like these idiots online who will go and tell them, really brutal stuff. Knock on from Manly, and it's going to be Knights ball at 25. Wow. A ref press conference is actually probably the best way to do it, because you will get, like, the NRL can do a lot of seeding out. Like, they can find which reporters they want in there. But also, the NRL shouldn't have the ability to say, you can't say this and you can only say this. So it's such a difficult thing. It is very difficult. I'm pretty certain Henry Perinara retired because of it. I'm pretty certain Henry Perinara stopped reffing because he couldn't handle the criticism or something like that. I could be wrong. If I'm saying something wrong, please let me know. Rice answer, didn't they used to show a camera angle on the bunker a couple of years ago when Luke Patton was involved? They can do it then, they can do it now. They're not going to do it because for the conversational point that we're talking about. Mitchell Vale Sports says, New South Wales Blue meal would come with a free box of tissues. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Oh, my gosh. How many knock-ons? The Knights, they've knocked the ball on. Manly will get to the 30 off the back of it. That's 3 or 4 knock. And there's a penalty to Manly at the end of it as well for a high tackle. How many knock-ons we're seeing in these last 3 minutes? So Manly will get the ball to the 30 and then get a penalty from James Schiller. Josh says, look, pretty much everyone agrees with Des the call was wrong. It isn't a 50-50 or 60-40 or anything. It's like an 80-20 or a 90-10 issue. Correct. That is correct. But we know this, so I don't know why Des is hounded for it. I think that the NRL should take common sense into account here, and if it's something that's stupid, like something that Ricky Stewart or Trent Robinson complains about, which just has no relevance and is just trying to protect his own team by just talking shit, then you can hound on them. I don't think you should hound on actual genuine criticism that you've admitted by demoting Casey Badger with. That is going to be past the horizontal, and there'll be a penalty to Manly. Seb One says, Ricky would have been right to moan last week, though. Stop it, don't encourage him. Dasmate says, surprised he didn't call them weak kind of dogs. Hadahoni says, get number 9 for the Knights off. He needs to pass to KP. Firstly, Olakawatu's deliberately done that, but he does get past the horizontal. Secondly, Crossland, Yeah, he's in. Oh no, they're not going to bin him. No, it's just on report. Just on report. Kibaseki says Craig Bellamy, Titans coach 2027. I don't believe it, but sure. If it happens, it happens. I don't believe it though. I don't believe it'll happen. I think this is a media spin again. Seb Watson says they shouldn't get shit wrong, as that's what the bunker was for. That whole thing isn't fit for purpose. I can feel sympathetic and empathetic towards the on-field referees for sure, because I think it is a hard job on the field. Some of the calls they get wrong is absolutely baffling, but outside of that, I can kind of feel a bit empathetic for them, because on the field is a very difficult job. There's just a patching up of an injury here for Dylan Lucas. But the bunker has no excuses. If we can see it, if we can all clearly see it, and the bunker goes the complete opposite direction to how the common consensus thinks, how the commentary thinks, how everyone's thinking, that makes no sense. That's the biggest issue. I have more of a significant issue with the bunker than I do with the on-field refs. But then people say, well, get rid of the bunker. That's stupid as well, because then you're going to see some really, really dumb calls just by the on-field refs, and then we're going to be complaining about the on-field refs. You can't get rid of a video ref. It's not possible. But they just need to be held a lot more accountable for their actions. First tackle now at the 10. They roll back here to Croker. Croker back to Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks off to Nathan Brown, and Nathan Brown is 10 metres away from the line. Second tackle. They roll back to Lachlan Croker, off to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans gives it to Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks, Tolotau Kuala, pushes away from one, away from two. Again. Oh, good last-ditch tackle by Phoenix Crossland. Stops the try there. That was a try saver and a half. Cherry Evans gets that. Oh, that was a nice pass, but unfortunately, he's still going to score. Kawatu. Ola Kawatu. Ola Kawatu. Ola Kawatu with the try. Third time, Ola Kawatu. I don't know how he still scored that, but he's a big bobber. That's one, Olivia. That's one. Far too strong there, Ola Kawatu. Just gets Croker gets done over there. That was not a good tackle from Croker. And then Crossland. That was not a great attempt at a tackle. Keep it sexy. Jesus, selling prayer away. Absolutely. Jazzy Sexy Man says crossing or crossling? Are you talking about Crossland? Like Phoenix Crossland? Or Flanagan, who's worse? Two different positions for starters. I would say that, dude, Crossland can have some pretty good games. Crossland can be really, really bad, but also can be really solid. I don't know. I'd probably take Crossland before I take Flanagan, but at the end of the day, they're both way better than what I could ever be. So, JC the Sexy Man says being on field ref must be scary. Imagine trying to tell Tino he's in the bin and starts blowing up. Valid. No, there's nothing that's going to happen with the refs there. Then again, that Tony Carroll one from 20 years ago will always live rent-free in my mind, man. And here's Seb Watson with his weekly Phoenix Crossland hate. Says, get that noodle head off. He's so bad. Wow, Garrick has missed a really easy kick there. Hits the post, and it's 16-0 Manly. He's missed a really easy kick there. Look, you've got coaches like Cleary who, from memory, never blame the officials for all the wrong calls we cop, but if coaches have legit criticism, they should not be punished for it. Yes, but we can reply to that saying that from an outsider's perspective, the Panthers have clearly been the best team in the last 4 years, but let's not pretend like the teams at the top constantly will receive better controversial calls than other teams. Down the bottom of the table. So the reason why Ivan doesn't criticise is because he knows he gets more than bad. He gets more good calls than bad at the Panthers. Maybe not so much necessarily nowadays, but that's because they're down the bottom of the table. Welcome back to the Dribbler Squad. Seb Watson says, put people who know the game that aren't mates with the referee would get way more call right. Do you have... What? I don't actually really understand that comment. Are you trying to say that they're all mates previously or something? Josh says, especially after they've been vindicated by the NRL admitting they were right for complaining. Correct. So Fitz tackle now at the 35. Anyway. And so Crossland helped save the tackle, then Mr. Ola, but not 100% on him. No, it was more on Matt Croker than it was on Crossland, but Still, it wasn't a great attempt. So 3.5 minutes to go the first half, and Fletcher Hunt will bring it back to the 35. Crossland would have been better just pulling a Lockie Miller. That Lockie Miller tackle attempt a couple of years ago on Olakau'atu was hilarious. Still to this day, it's one of the funniest NRL moments. Ivan complained about calls when he played Cowboys. Okay, very big difference between him playing and being coached, though. Oh, knock on there from Newcastle. And the knock on Nova Castrians are back, ladies and gentlemen. The knock on Knights are back. This is what we've come to expect with Newcastle this year. Errors-wise, Newcastle are currently sitting at 6. That's actually not that bad, but all 6 of those pretty much have come in the last 10 minutes. Ivan credits his boys for how they perform, not the officials. Sure, but come on, man. From an outsider's perspective, there also is a reason for this. Skidder Media says, oh, no, it's been removed by Mitchell. I don't have much hope in the Bronx this week. Good, fuck 'em. JC the sexy man says, if your name is Storm, Panthers, Roosters, or Broncos, you get every 50-50 call. I wouldn't say the Broncos get as much as you say, but sure. Back in the day, yeah, but not so much anymore, in my opinion. Andrew says, no, sorry, I mean they played, not him specifically. Simply Cherry Evan, no, knock on Newcastle, and Olakau'atu's probably going to score anyway, to be fair. No, he's taking it down to 10. 10 metres out here from the line. Is it third tackle? 0? No, it is 6 again. Oh, it's a 6 again for a ruck infringement, though, not for a touch from the Knights. So first tackle here for Manly. 1:45 to go here the first half. They're 10 metres away. They give it off to Nathan Brown. And Nathan Brown is going to be 5 metres out here from the line. 3 metres out from the line, second tackle. 3 metres out. Oh, short play, Lachlan Croker. Wow, good defence there from Matt Croker this time. He stopped that try from Lachlan Croker. Matt Croker stopped Lachlan Croker. Sherry Evans kicks this ball across, and that is an... Oh! There's a drop ball. So it's going to be Knights ball at 20. But nice work there from Valdolo to try and get that. It was not a good kick from Ches. Rice says, O'Brien's going to be the next coach getting dropped, right? I've been saying this for 3-4 years, mate. I've been saying this for 3-4 years, but then they go and re-sign him for 5 years. Hadahoni Wipparata says, Queensland win game 2. No, we love that, Hadahoni. We love that. Go Queensland. Go massive Queensland. Big Queensland win game 2. Massive! Massive. Dad's mate even agrees. Jared says, you can have Flanagan. No, thank you. No, I will pass on that one, though, Jared. Thank you for the offer, though. I appreciate it, without the appreciate part, but it was an offer. Definitely don't appreciate it, though. Seb Watson, put people in the bunker who aren't on-field officials. I'll sign up for a job. I can do it from Skype, still get more decisions than Badger, right? I don't know if that works, but I get the sentiment. Kai Pearce-Paul now be taken out in 35, 4 tackle. Chad Fummo says, wouldn't be a Knights game if it wasn't a knock-on-a-thon. It is a knock-on-a-thon. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a knock-on. Hey! There's a knock-on from Newcastle! Seb Watson's boy, fingers crossed them with a knock-on. Just as we were saying, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a knock-on by the end of the set. Well, here they come. The knock-on-a-thon from Newcastle. It's all on here. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So knock on from Newcastle, and that will be the end of the first half. 16-0 to Manly. They've been the better team. It has been a relatively decent game for the most part, but Manly pulled away in the last 5-10 minutes there of that. Maybe the last 10 minutes. Sipley scored in the 26th minute, and then Olakau'atu scored in the 33rd minute. Obviously, Guala scored back in the 12th. So, yeah, look, it hasn't been as bad of a game as the scoreline suggests, but the knock-on-a-thon Knights are back and firing up. 7 knock-ons in that first half is brutal, but not as bad as they usually have. But guys, let's get to some of these stats here at halftime. Obviously, smack that like button. Do it right now. Like the video. Gee whiz. And subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get into it. So the Manly Seagulls 16, Knights 0. 54% possession for Manly, 46% for the Knights. They've had about a minute 20 odd more possession on the field, so not too drastic there. Completion rate is okay for both teams. It's not fantastic for the Knights, obviously, and that's not including their last knock-ons. They'll be under 70%. 75% for Manly at 18 from 24. Not great, but you'll do with it. The Knights are now at 66% with 14 from 21, so the Knights knock-on-a-thon is well and truly back in action. Manly with 99 runs compared to the 80 of Newcastle, with 994 run meters for Manly and 638 for Newcastle. So through 19 runs, mate, Manly are destroying them. And it's the 18 runs now, 640, 994, 740, 840, 940. Dude, Manly are destroying them in the middle. Destroying them in the middle. And you'll see that in the average set distance in a second. Wow. Post-contact meters is 359 and 212. Again, Manly are destroying Newcastle in the middle, man. Wow. Line breaks is 6-0 to Manly. Tackle breaks is 15-11 to Manly. So 15 missed tackles there for the Knights is not outstanding in one half. Average set distance, 41.45 for Manly is really good. Anything above 40 to 45 is really good. 45 to 50 is unreal. And then 50 plus is out of this world. 41.45 is impressive there for Manly. Anything above 35 to 40 is pretty much where you want to sit. If you are on a basic average kind of set distance, anything from 30 to 35 is not good, and they are at 31.63. So they're on the lower end of not good here, Newcastle, with 31.63. At least they're in the 30s. They were at 30 just before. Now they've been upgraded to 31.63. That is awful from Newcastle. And now it's 16-11 in tackle breaks. As you guys know, it updates at half time, but it's a guide. Now it's 17-11 tackle breaks, Manly. Wow. Average play the ball speed is 3.52 for Manly, 3.51 for the Knights. So both these teams are playing pretty slow to play the balls. It's not too fast at all. Offloads is 3-1 Newcastle way. That's really low in offloads for both teams. Forced dropouts is 1-0 from Knights to way. And then 33% on the kick defusal for Manly, 75% to the Knights on kick defusal. Defensively, Newcastle's actually doing pretty well comparatively to the amount of tackling they've had to do. 91.3% on the effective tackle percentage with 17 missed tackles and 3 ineffective from 210 tackles made. So 20 bad tackles in the first half, but the ineffective isn't actually, they haven't had that many ineffective tackles, just a lot of missed tackles at 17. But considering the amount of defense they've had to do, 91.3% is really good. And it is really good, actually. It is really good. So a lot of missed tackles, but a lot of tackles made. Whilst Manly are also doing pretty well themselves at 90.72%, so not too far behind Newcastle. 176 tackles made for 11 missed tackles and 7 ineffective. So ultimately 18 bad tackles in the first half, which is only 2 bad tackles less than Newcastle. They've had a lot less missed tackles in 17 to 11, but they've got 7 to 3 in regards to ineffective tackles, Manly. So that's pretty good on Manly's behalf, but it's just the ineffective that's costing them there to be underneath Newcastle in the percentage department. Errors-wise, it's actually even 7-7. So Manly have made 7 errors themselves, but the Knights have made 7 errors, which is very typical for them. Wouldn't surprise me if they still got up to the 15 marker, which is kind of where they usually situate themselves. 4 penalties conceded against the Knights as well to 2, so they're not doing well discipline-wise. 3-2 Knights way ruck infringements, not doing well discipline-wise, and 3-0 on reports, not doing well discipline-wise Newcastle. So that's where they're losing this game. Defensively, they have had to make a whole bunch of tackles, and they are doing pretty well with it for the most part. Yes, they've missed some, but not too many ineffective. But overall, Manly are going to win this game. Knights don't come back from this. Their possession, 19 from 25 for Manly and 14 from 21 for the Knights. It's not winning footy here from Newcastle, but there's a reason why they're down this area of the table. Now, the Knights, considering they're down by 16 right now, they'll go from minus 69 on this current at halftime to minus 85. So if they concede one more try, the Eels will go above them today. If they lose this game by 44 or more, they actually go into last place below the Titans. So Manly would have to score 26-36, another 28 odd points for the Knights to go into last. But if Manly do get a bit of a move on in the second half, it's possible. With that being said, though, if the Titans and the Eels both won this week, right now Knights would be going to last. But that is the halftime stats. Seb Watson says, when the Knights run to the 8 starting, when's the Knights run to the 8 starting? Maybe next season. I don't know, man. Knights are in a whole world of trouble at the moment. Getting booed by your home crowd, that's rough. Yep. Yeah. It is rough. Jay Ferrugia says, damn, you got that Knights fans booing. Then they play the Telstra ad at the stadium to make it even worse. Oh my gosh, they didn't actually play the Telstra ad. They didn't actually play the Telstra ad, did they? Deary me. Josh says, wouldn't surprise me if Ponga decides to switch to Union after this season. Must be fed up playing for such a poverty club. How long has his contract got? How much more has his contract got? Yeah, exactly right, Jared. When does KP's contract end? Melissa says, I support Manly in real life. Come on, Manly got this. Well, what's the difference between here and real life? This is real life. This is real. I'm not AI. I'm not fake. But then again, how would you know? How would you know? Melissa says Dice and Jake. DC and Jake are going to come in clutch, you mean? KP's have Raiders doing nothing all year. What do you want him to do here, Ads? Like, the Knights are not great. They've got no halves. They're hookers all over the shop. Their forwards are not making the meters you need them to. Their centers and their wingers, they're defensively inept, like attacking wise as well. No, the Knights team has so many problems everywhere. You can't just blame Kalen Ponga. If Kalen Ponga is playing for the Storm, he's going to be crushing it. If Kalen Ponga is playing at a mid-range team, let's have a look. If Kalen Ponga was playing at the South Sydney Rabbitohs in ninth, and you have Latrell in the centres and whatnot, and they've still got a few issues in regards to their halves and a few issues in regards to their team, I guarantee you that Kalen Ponga would be killing it for him. I guarantee you that any team that isn't the Titans, the Eels, the Knights, or like even if he's at the Tigers, then you've got a spine of Abby Psychotoisau, Jerome Luai, who's their six now with Galvin gone? Like, I know it's Latifoni in the future, but who's been playing there? I can't remember. But anyway, the point is that he'd be killing it there. This is just a really poor Knights team. And also, for the most part, this Knights team is really, really brought back by the fact that they don't have halves. Because the halves are the ones that are going to get them going. And New Zealand guys just wait for the comeback. Mate, they come back from this... They've scored 159 points this season. They've scored 0 points in this game right now. They're third last, and potentially second last if Manly score one more try, and then also potentially last before the games even get underway for the Titans and Eels this week. Like, they could potentially go into last this week. Why would I expect a comeback? What have the Knights done to prove that they're a comeback team? I don't understand. It's like, if you can give me a reason to believe in the comeback, I'll believe in the comeback, because that's what this season has been. There's been a lot of comebacks this year. But in what way? Like, the Knights have scored 0 points in the 40 minutes they've gone there, which is in line with the 159 points they've scored this season through 13 rounds. They're at 159 points through 13 rounds. The second worst attacking team is the Rabbitohs on 211. So they're the only team that hasn't cracked 200, and they're 41 short of that. They're the only team who hasn't cracked 210, and they're 51 short of that. So why am I expecting the Knights to come back here? What did the Knights do in the first half that showed me that the comeback could happen? If it happens, sure. If it happens, great. But in what world am I meant to believe what you're saying? In what world? Alex says, I'm good, mate. I'm always here. I've become a lurker. Alex is a lurker. He's a big old lurker, that Alex bloke. Biggest lurker that you ever did see. Hadahoni says, KP, come to the Warriors. Well, they are losing Chance, aren't they? Chance is off next year, isn't he? Didn't he sign somewhere, or am I out of control? 20 missed tackles at half-time, cuz. Oh, they updated. Is it more now? Is it more missed tackles? No, it's 17, not 20. It's 17, so close enough, though. AI Blazer, scary thought. Ooh, scary man. Big, scary man, mate. Well, I'm not at games anymore, so maybe I've been taken over by AI. Conspiracy Theory 101. Josh says, though Ponga might move to the Chooks after he leaves the Knights, I thought. Sure, but they've got other players. Like, I know Joe Martin wants to come back. Dazmate says, I've never seen you in person, so you must be AI. That is actually incorrect, Daz. You have seen me in person at a charity match about, 3 years ago. What are you talking about? That's actually just incorrect, Daz. You have, and you didn't get me the KFC Buddy Zinger box that you promised me. You're a liar, and also you still owe me a Zinger box. Darryl Weller says, crazy O'Brien has not played Hastings yet. No, Hastings is not the answer. The Hastings is just not the answer. Ponga at Manly would be slick as. Agree. Manly's a great option as well. Heath Mason. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, for now, until Latifoni comes back for the Tigers. Just remember last year, KP to Mal, he didn't want to be selected for Kangaroos to join pre-season with a spine, 14 rounds, man, and just nothing is doing. What do you want the fullback of a team that has scored 159 points, which is reliant upon the halves and the hooker? What do you want the fullback to do? What can the fullback do in this team? I'm not saying that Ponga is the greatest... Fuck this Telstra ad, get on my screen! What do you guys need? Want Ponga to be doing here for this team? How is he to blame for this? How is Ponga to blame for this? Sure, he's not doing much, but how can he do much? This Knights team is dreadful across the park right now. Like, what is Ponga meant to do to impress you? I don't understand what you need him to be doing. New Zealand guys, the best second half you'll ever see? No, the best second half you'll ever see was when the Titans came back on the Knights a couple of weeks ago. Knights should declare, Jay says. I was surprised you weren't on. I did a stream with Zach, Real Fan Sports, the other day for the IPL final. I got back from a function and I jumped straight onto stream on his channel. I was surprised you weren't there. Usually you're lurking, Jay. Usually you're a big lurker, just like Alex. And his own guy says they'll make a movie about it. Yeah, well, it'll be a shit movie. Jam4 says the home fans booing, defense Newcastle. When was the last time Knights fan booed? It would be a while. They're usually pretty resilient. Travis says, hey, if Titans are up at halftime, can we get a hot chip halftime challenge again? No, I'm on a real big, healthy eating diet at the moment, bro. So, I've been slapping it down. So I can't really do that at the moment. But when I'm in Vietnam, I could probably do something like that, yeah. After I finish up, I've got 2.5 more weeks. Oh, basically 3. But 2.5 to 3 more weeks of this Palapon, doing this fitness retreat. And then once I'm done with that, then I can do, something like that again. Jared Farm Money says, Dad's assumed he met your doppelganger. Daz, he still owes me a singer box, that man. JC the Sexy Man says, I saw you in person back in 21. Back then I was nervous to meet you. I'm a scary man. I'm a scary man, mate. Very terrifying. Just ask the Titans organisation. Mitchell says, Manly fans should be giving their players a standing ovation. Like the Tigers did in round 1 this year before losing to Newcastle. Jared said there's a tournament speed competition these days. Ah, jeez. What's that? It's like this just... I don't know what that was. Something went to my eye. League is a team sport, not a one-man show after all. Agree. Darryl Wallace says, so what would your current night spine be with their current squad? Ponga is their fullback. But, what they've got is their own fault. They've had years to piece it together. So currently, yeah, you've got Ponga the fullback. Fletcher Sharp is probably the 6. Sure, maybe you could check Jackson Hastings is in, but there's still jack shit with him. You know, waiting for an Instagram message to say stop criticising me. And then the 9, I guess is cross. I don't know what they do, but this is their fault. It's not like it's anybody's fault besides themselves. It's not like it's anybody's fault besides themselves. KZT says, I like our chance against the Broncos, but still a little sceptical. Titans will be mad after last week's loss, and Broncos the same. 2 teams who want to prove they aren't a dumpster fire. Mate, the Titans have been trying to prove they're not a dumpster fire for a very, very long time now. You know, and I'll still be there. I'll still support them. I'll still back my team in, but fuck me. Jay says, I didn't even know, otherwise I would have popped in to hang shit on you. Yeah, well, you know, I didn't even know I was doing it until the day of, to be fair. Sharon Farmay says, I agree with you, Blaze. I'm just saying I feel bad for Ponga because his spine keeps changing, even though he wanted to join pre-season and build connection, but the constant change just let him down. Agree. I don't disagree with you. I am scary, Andrew. Not as scary. I would be even scary if I was an Eels fan, but still scary nonetheless. Seb Watson says, Ponga at the Sharks would be good. Agree. I think that'd be great. That's getting a bit upper end now, though. I was trying to look at middle table teams. Andrew, your neck beard is scary. Andrew said, when I met him at the charity match, he called me a muppet for wearing a Sixers jersey. Yeah, he's still a muppet now. Casey says, things getting rough for the Titans. The Blaze is suiting up to play himself. That's why he's on a health kick. Dude, I would be the worst rugby league player. I reckon I'd probably be back row, though. After this fitness, I'd probably be back row if I ever did anything. I might play in a charity match for the couple of years, in the next couple of years, depending. Obviously, I've been doing the commentary and stuff like that, but the only reason I didn't do it this year is because I was going to Vegas for the opening round of the NRL. You're a bit late, Paul. Oh, NRL Live VIP. Get around, Olivia. Jared Ford says, Ponga can't make up his mind at the moment. Based off of what? Ben Casper says, Knights need to fight back. You have 40 minutes to do that. They do. I don't think they're going to, but they do need to fight back for sure. All right, guys, both teams are back out here for the second half. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe. Do not forget, we'll be live for every single game this weekend. We've got 2 games tomorrow, 2 games on Saturday, which is going to be a rough day. Sharks Warriors, big game, and then I've got to deal with you Muppets for the Titans Broncos. And then on Sunday, we've got 2 games, and on Monday, we've also got 1 game. But Manly will grab this ball here at the 5, gives it off to Sipley, and Sipley will get it out of the 15. Knights are suffering a little without Best. I expect better from the next week. Yeah, but you can't be relying upon a centre. But sure, but a centre's not going to change them to a winning team. He's met my dad. That was funny. Have met your dad. Jared Farm Money says, who knows, maybe with the Bears coming, Ponga will go back to WA where he was born and feel the Perth air. And I wouldn't even say that's a bad shout because they've got money. They've got money. But I also think the NRL nowadays has shown that you need good halves. Like, the NRL goes through waves of different positions. 4 tackle now for Manly at the 42. I don't think the fullback position is as important as it has been the last 10 years. Good pass across here to the right side of Fa'alalo. Fa'alalo taking it to 35. Don't get me wrong, I'm saying the fullback position is still very important, still a very big position. But, Fa'alalo might have been hit high here. He's trying to claim it. Don't worry, he just gets straight up and puts, and they get the ball away to Brooks. He'll put it up in the air. It's a good kick. It's a good kick. It's a good kick. And Ponga will grab it at the 20. First tackle. I don't think the fullback is as much important as it has been the last 10 years. And I think right now you're seeing an emphasis back onto the 7. I don't think the emphasis is on the 9 just yet. Maybe that's the next position in the spine that gets emphasised in the next 10 years, 10, 15 years. But right this very second, there is a significant emphasis on having the prime time 7. Because there has been a time, like with the Sharks in 2016, where they had Chad Townsend, who was an okay 7, but, James Maloney, Mick Ennis, and Benny Barber at the time, and it was a real emphasis on the fullback position in the 2010s. And that probably comes from the fact of Billy Slater, and also the 9, I guess, but that comes from Smith. The best player in the competition right now is still Nathan Cleary. So that's what the emphasis usually goes on, the position of the best player, because you have that comparison. Mitchell says, Blaze running off Campbell would be a scary sight for the opposition, mate. Terrifying. Terrifying me too. First tackle. Harohoni Whipperata says, are you coming to New Zealand when your team come over? Harohoni, how many games have you seen me at this year? I'm currently in Thailand. How am I meant to get to New Zealand for that game? Third tackle for Manly, and I'll be in Vietnam in about 3 weeks. Keep your eyes peeled for Clayton and Tommy, lads. Why am I keeping my eyes peeled for Clayton and Tommy? Rysan says, love Des, but he's going to give me an aneurysm with his subs with the bench. Yeah, I don't agree with the fact that we barely use our bench. Lachlan Croker gets an offload away to Nathan Brown, then to Luke Brooks, underneath to Corey Waddell. It'll be fit tackle. Give me 1 second. Big high kick up. Manly! Oh! It ends up being a knock on, but that was actually a really good attempted catch. Really good attempted catch there. Casey, I reckon you go right. Being a shooter in the game is valuable. Talent can only carry you so far. Game knowledge is key. Maybe if I'm like, lads, I'm 31. I'm more interested in traveling the world right now than cracking on. But I would be the greatest player of all time. You're not wrong. I would be like Gordon Tallis on steroids. And that's close to a 4 pass, but Knights here, fit tackle at the 35. Josh says, Olivia's multi, she needs him to score. Yeah, well, she's got Oli Kawatu at the moment, but I don't know about the other two. Mina says, do I need to spell it out in capitals and spaces in between? Oh, yeah, scoreboard still says half time, just realised. Okay, yeah, I'll fix it. I'll fix it, because Jay's a slacko as per usual. Big slacko, that guy. It's terrifying scenes. He needs to really sort himself out, to be fair, that Jay Hayes bloke. Manly will get taken down. Tommy Talau at the 35 on their own side of the field. Croker off to Cherry Evans, 40-20 attempt. That actually looks alright. That looks alright. That looks alright. That looks alright. That looks... Oh! Just short of the 40-20. It was a great kick, but it will go about 22 metres out, 21 metres out. Dasmate says vape break. No, I've given up the vaping, man. I gave up the old vaping. No, we're sweet now, man. We are sweet. I don't even crave it at all. At all. I find things very easy to give up. Like, I never got into cigarettes. I don't like the taste of cigarettes, to be fair. But I never really smoked, ever. Vaping was a bit of a problem for a while, but, like, I just gave up like that. Yeah, it's not a problem. Jay says, Olivia, have you used your time out or hide button yet? Come on, Olivia. Time someone out! Time them out! And make it skunkle. Actually, you can't time out skunkle. Only I can do that. Who wants to get timed out? Be the first time out from Olivia as a moderator. Who wants to be it? Say it in the chat right now. Out of the left-hand side, Ponga gives it off to Dylan Lucas, and Lucas will be taking it at the halfway point for tackle. I've got asthma, so I literally cannot vape. That's good. You don't want to. It's not a good thing. Oh, Kaipi's ball with a good run. Here we go. Kaipi's ball's got Fletcher Sharp. I scored. Nice try time. Fletcher Sharp will score. And it's 16-4 with the kick to come Newcastle. Timeout next time he talks. Charlie John says, Knights signed Tass once May joined South. What? What are you talking about? What the hell? What are you talking about? That was a good pass, though, for Olivia's just timed out Skidia. How dare you time out, Olivia? Dearie me. How dare you? How dare you? Jeez, how rude, Olivia. How rude. Why would you do that? But I don't know what this... What are you talking about, Charlie? Knight signed Tass once May joined South. I don't get that. But anyway, so try time there. Fletcher sharp. So it's a 12-point game with the kid to come Newcastle. 5 minutes is also acceptable. 2018 LeBron run, honestly. Oh, yeah, on your Daz's boyfriend. Exactly right, Mitchell. Daz's boyfriend does get the try. Does get the try. Pants are down too, Daz. Don't get too excited. Or half down anyway. Not Tedesco Moonworthy, but... not just makes sense, bro. Knights need outside backs. Knights need way more than just outside backs. I wouldn't even say that's their biggest emphasis. Their biggest emphasis is a 7, and Dylan Brown shouldn't be a 7. He's a 6, as has been seen by him at the Eels. So I still think they're very well desperate of a 7. But also specifically, are you referring to Terrell May? Is that who you're referring to with May joins South? Like, who are you talking about with the May? That's my biggest question mark. I don't really care about the Isaiah Tass. My biggest question mark is who's May? Yeah, Sharp. Now I need Martiu and Clayton. There you go. This is much easier than the bots I used to deal with on YouNow. That platform was crazy. Yeah, I don't even know what YouNow is, to be fair. Oh, Taylon May. Oh, I thought you were talking about Terrell May. I was like, Terrell May's not going anywhere. Taylon May, I didn't even know he was coming back. Knights need to pray for better attack. Well, that's a good start there. That's a good start. Still a long way back, but... oh, Taylor may join South. There you go. I didn't even know about that. I didn't even know about that. Not exactly high on the care factor, but we'll see how Taylor May goes there. He's a good player. Unfortunately, he's just got a lot of off-field stuff going on. So Tommy Talau's going to come off for a HIA here. To be fair, like to understand where that person was coming, even though they're obviously a Knights fan, New Zealand guy, whatever, the only way I can see a comeback here is based on the fact that Manly have had 2 guys who won't return based off of... firstly, you had... Who was it? The first one was Liha Pawade, who went off for the rest of the game. He failed his HIA. And then also we saw Jazz Tavanga go off for the rest of the game. And now we've seen Tommy Talau have a HIA. So, you know, Manly are down to 1 on the bench for the time being. Knights only lost Tyson Frizzell, which was a big loss. But with that being said, like, Manly are only down to 1 on the bench at the moment until we see how Tommy Talau gets on. Jared says, I'll probably stop smoking weed one day. That'd be nice. So, Knights hit the 25 on second tackle. Yes, May's a horrible human, but a very talented footballer, Charlie says. Jared says, Olivia, haven't heard of you now in so long. I didn't even know what that was. Dane Gagai. They go out to the left. Oh, sorry, right. And now they're at the 45 for tackle. He's up until loud passes. Hey, well, otherwise, Manly down to 1 on the bench for the rest of the game, which would actually open up a potential comeback for the Knights. You know, was a live streaming app. Was it popular? Was it, like, big? I'd never heard of it. All right, so Ruben Garrick will get back here at the 15. And Manly first tackle. Because surely you don't throw away a lead like this against third last. At least this will help you in regards to not going below the Eels today. Yeah, around 2011. Oh, okay, so they were competing with the early days of YouTube. Fair enough. I guess that's why it never really kind of picked up. Where did Twitch start? Travis, he says, remember the Knights beating the Panthers the other week? Where's that game plan gone? Well, the Panthers are in 4th last for a reason. Livy says, died very popular in the Musically days. Musically. That was like the original TikTok, wasn't it? 12-4-4 Sipley. He'll get this ball now to the 50 on fit tackle. JC Sexy Man said, I tried my mate's vape once, and I have to say, vaping is so shit, just burns your throat. I'm never going to encourage anybody to do it. Don't do it. But I don't know how valid that is, what you just said. But I still would say it's good that you don't like it, because then you're not going to do it. Whoever bumped heads with Talau should be suspended for eternity. No, it was the foot of what's his name? Fletcher Sharp, who scored the try. As he was trying to make the tackle, Tommy Talau got connected with by the boot on the bottom of his chin. Jared Farr Money says, oh, no, there might be an injury here to Matt Croker. No, he's getting up. He's getting up. He's all right. He's gone back down. God bless him. Hope he's okay. And then you run back into the... Good on you, Dan. Is that Dan Gagai? No, it wasn't. Who is that? Jermaine McEwen literally just ran straight into where his player was injured. Well done. 30 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Nice. Maybe back into the game. Hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. Nice. Maybe back into it. Never good at taking on the chin. Yeah, you're very well known of that, aren't you, Seb? So first tackle here for Manly, and Tommy Talau brings it out here to the 15. You know that Panthers team was very anemic. Beating them is nothing to brag about. No, it's very... Well, when the Titans beat them, you know, I'll be bragging. I'll be saying that we beat the 4-time premiers, mate. Imagine if the Knights came back and won. Well, it would make a little bit of sense right now, considering there was two men on the bench at half-time for Manly, and then now there's just one man on the bench because Tommy Talau was off for a HIA for the next 15, or now 10. Well, Sharp will be packing his bags. He's off to England. Damn, Mitchell's coming for Daz, mate. Mitchell's coming for Daz, mate, right now. Dear me. Well, if you want the Knights to stick to the game plan, they used to be a depleted Panthers side. No wonder they're losing right now. Oh, that's right. That was when the Panthers had their origin stars out. Knights need to start a chant. Well, they only know one chant, and it's Newcastle. Newcastle. I don't know if I've ever heard the Knights do any other chant besides Newcastle. Newcastle. James Schiller gets away from a couple tackles. Oh, he's lost the ball. The knock-on-a-thon is back, and Luke Brooks going to the left-hand side, the 40, the 35, the 30. He gives it to Ruben Garrick, who cuts back in at the 20, the 15, and it's going to be zero tackle here for Manly, actually, 15 metres out. Zero tackle, 15 metres out. Doesn't beg your pardon. You get into him. Mitchell on Daz, punch on in the chat. Oh, so Jasavunga's back. No, Jasavunga is playing again. Okay, don't worry about that. They've still got two on the bench. And if Tommy Talau comes back, they'll still have three. So don't worry about that. Jasavunga actually is back in the game. Pekaya says, today Manly win? Yes, I think Manly win. They're up 16-6. They were up 16-0, and I had Manly to win pre-game anyway. Cherry Evans, short ball. Kawatsu. Second tackle now, 3 metres away from the line. Newcastle over here might be better than this lot. Jeez, what is that? The Newcastle Thunder, who lost like 104-0 once? Third tackle here for Manly, and they're 5 metres away. Maybe the Panthers could actually beat that team in a WCC. So Simpkin off to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans to Toltau Kola. Kola comes back in. Good tackle there from the Knights. Fletcher Hunt with a good tackle. Arguably 6 again there, but Cherry Evans here at the 13. Out the back here, Luke Brooks. They're losing meters, but they get it across to Ethan Baltimore. Baltimore to Benjamin Boyovich. Benjamin Boyovich goes in. Now they're 10, 11 meters away from the line. Fit tackle. How's the food over there? Yeah, Thailand's very good. Have you ever had Thai food before, man? That's an awful kick here from Luke Brooks. Have you not had Thai food before? Oh no, Skunkle's turned in. Oh no. Oh no, Skunkle's decided to actually watch a game for once and stop playing his little anime game. Deary me. Let's get his get the match made for Vegas, Newcastle versus Newcastle. I will tell you right now that I am not streaming that game, and I will probably instead go to Tanzania. I will probably, when that Newcastle Knights versus Newcastle Thunder game is on, I'm moving to Tanzania. I'm moving there. I'm moving Tanzania. And Callum Ponga, good run there, third tackle to the 50. Levy says, Lenny has been teaching us a new chant at Broncos games. I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a red. What? I don't even know what just happened then. I'm blind, I am deaf. No, I'm blind, I am deaf, I want to be a red. Do you mean I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that's like a famous chant for ages. I don't know what your comment is, but anyway. Oh! Knights are going to score! The Knights are going to score. It's 16-10 here with a kick to come. 16-10 with a kick to come. And Manly, this is what's happening when you've gone down with these players on the bench. The injuries. Here comes your Knights. Here comes your Knights. Yeah, how many hours in the anime game you Skunkle? He's played a lot. I think it's about 160 million hours. But try time for Newcastle. Fletcher Hunt scores. It's 16-10 with a kick to come. I never played an anime game in my life. Skunkle, you're a liar. They're all onside. They are all onside by a mile. And unfortunately, Manly just couldn't get a ball there. I feel like the Lakers have haven't played since last year, Daz. Skunkle, which team do you support? Which team are you a big fan of? Rysan says, wants to be a Queensland Reds fan instead of a Broncos. Makes sense. No, it makes sense. Actually, have the Reds been good in the Super Rugby this year? Super Rugby draw. Super Rugby draw. The Reds playing the final. Finals are on now, aren't they? Fiji and Drew already won it though. They already won it in my heart. That's his first NRL try there, Fletcher Hunt as well. Oh, the Reds are playing the Crusaders. Damn, okay, fair enough. Go the Chiefs this week. I'm a big Chiefs fan this week. If you can guess why, good luck. Skunkle is a Wizards fan. Yeah, Skunkle big Washington Wizards fan. Question, is Volkanovski a Broncos fan? I keep seeing him in that commercial for that or something. Josh, he's from Wollongong. He's a Dragons fan. A massive Dragons fan too. Cannot get a read on Manly this year. Well, Darryl, again, they've got no Tom Trbojevic, but also two, they went down their fullback early, so they are now onto their third string fullback in Takwala, who shifts out of the centres into the fullback. They've had to push then somebody else into the centres, which then pushes somebody else into the other position they've used. I would assume Ben Trbojevic has gone to the centres. I think he has on the left-hand side. So the whole team's getting a bit of a mix-up there. Ches needs to do better. He's just not playing good this year. Luke Brooks, that was an awful kick that he made before, which set up this Newcastle Knights try ultimately. It's Manly are a bit all over the shop, but at the end of the day, they've still got Tommy Talau out injured as well right now with HIA. I don't know if he'll come back or not. Someone needs to let me know if his HIA is fine. But yeah, Manly are just a bit all over the shop. But I still have them to win this game, but maybe the Knights come home strong. Mitchell says Skunkle gets around the Philadelphia Warriors. Skunkle gets around probably OKC now, to be fair. And he'll say he's been a lifelong fan. Mitchell Vela Sports says, do you think the 9 tournament will be good in... Okay, I'm going to ask you to do that again in English. Darryl Weller says, can I get a... Oh, that's right. Jared Farmoni says, bet you are a Chiefs fan this week. Chiefs these days are like the Dragons of the 90s. The 90s, they make the grand final quite a bit, but lose it often. I am getting around the Chiefs this week, one, because they have always had a big involvement in Fiji, but also secondly, because they're playing the Blues, and Skunkle is a Blues fan. My 2-cent prediction for the NBA Finals, OKC win 4-1. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually won 4-0, to be fair. Fit tackle here at the 45. It's been so cold in Brisbane. Could snow next week. Okay. Good luck. All right, Ruben Garrett picks his ball up at the 15, brings up the 25, taking down first tackle. Chase is a sexy man, says, it's funny, in City's horrid year, we got more wins than the Gunners. It's quite funny. Well, you got to remember, in City's worst year, look where they finished up, man. And then you got United fans bantering them. It's like, bro, you came 15th. And then celebrating making a final in a tier less than the Champions League. Winning the Europa League, you can't even make it if you are too good. You don't even make the Europa League if you are too good, because you're in the Champions League. 4th tackle now, and it's a lot easier to win nowadays with a different system. So Manly now will be Tota Kuala. Nearly gets away, but he'll be taking up the 40 on 5th tackle. Yeah, Blues are getting knocked out easy this year. Oh, that's out in the full from Manly. Out in the full. Cherry Evans is not having a good year, dude. 23 minutes to go here. At least we've got a good game on here. At least we've got an interesting little game. At least we've got an interesting little game here. All right, first tackle here for Newcastle. Greg Martiu. Now off to Jermaine McEwen, who'll be at the 45 on the Manly side of the field. Do you think a 9 tournament would be good in Vegas? No. I think you need to have relevance, and unfortunately, it's probably not going to have the relevance out of the right-hand side here. Knights! Oh, they've thrown it so far back, and that's going to be a knock-on. Oh, that was their chance. That was their chance, Newcastle. That was your chance, Newcastle, but it will be a knock-on here. Deary me. They're going to challenge this. I think you're going to lose your challenge, though. Hopefully Knights make a little comeback. Skidmedia, are you on the same planet as us right now? They were down 16-0. It's now 12-16. They've already made a little comeback. Got to pray harder, Knights. Well, that was good until it wasn't. It's definitely going to be a knock-on here. Oh, Yeah, it's 100% a knock-on there from Fletcher Sharp. Okay, well, this one's pretty clear. This one's pretty clear. Touches it there. That gets called a knock-on every day of the week. Yeah, that's a knock-on. Good come on, Tommy and Clayton. Hadahoni says Chiefs are top of the Super Rugby. No, Fiji and Drua. They already won. It's just they're just playing the rest of it just for a bit of fun. They're just playing it out, and they let the Drua have a bit of a rest until next season. Fiji and Drua actually went through undefeated. Jav Fat Money says they've also lost the last 2 grand finals back to back. Let's hope they can break their curse. I just want them to beat the Chiefs so I can laugh at Sam. The Thunder could win the chip and still have 11 first-round picks in the next 5 years. Crazy. Yeah, it would have been nice if the Bulls had have gotten 1 in that Alex Caruso trade. Even though Giddey has worked out to be really good. But at the time, you could have easily gotten a first-round pick for Caruso alongside Giddey because they were off him. So first tackle for Manly, and they're going to be at the 20. Schiller's having a mare. Well, it was a good run. It's just well, they weren't calling the knock-on against him. They're calling the knock-on against, I think, Fletcher Sharp for touching the ball. And it's like it was a difficult pass to make. Out to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans to Olakawatu. And Olakawatu to the 35. I reckon that's JC is a sexy man. JC is a sexy man. JC is very much a sexy man. 4 tackle for Manly at the 35. And Kola. 5th tackle at 45. Not a fantastic setting from Manly. Not a fantastic set at all. Simpkin and Cherry Evans, you got to do better. And he'll just whack that one down, and it'll be at the 10 of a James Schiller. Brings it back to the 15, to the 20. Miraculous what can happen if you don't knock the ball on, Newcastle. It's miraculous, isn't it? Case says little grubber instead of a pass could have gone better. Sure, but also would have been very difficult with the player positioning on the field. Jared Fun Money says, this Super Rugby final series... Okay, let's get back here to the Rugby League now. Let's get back to the Rugby League. 3rd tackle here of the 35. 20 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. 45 minutes out now, 4th tackle. No, 3rd tackle still. Get the offload away. Kai Pearce-Paul. He'll flick it off to Dane Gagai. Dane Gagai still going now at the 43 on Manly side of the field. The momentum is definitely with Newcastle. Any update on whether or not Talau passed HIA? Someone here is going to have to let me know because I don't know. I can't see him out there right this very second. That's a knock-on from Newcastle. Oh, no, Manly just going to get the ball from... Well, it's a knock-on, so it's 0 tackle here for Manly at the 43. And now Manly will get this ball out here to the 45 on the night side of the field. And I don't think he touched that there. I don't think Clayton Falalo knocked that ball on, so I think that was okay call. Aguero couldn't afford a straw at McDonald's. How was he meant to pay for a membership? Cherry Evans, short ball. Jazz to Vunga, and he'll get this ball to the 35. 3rd tackle. Manly forwards need to do a little bit better here. Simpkin to Olakawatu. Olakawatu not so much. He's been killing it all game. 4th tackle now, 25 out, and he has a try to his name. Casey Badger doesn't know if that was a knock-on. Casey Badger doesn't even know what her buddy name is. Luke Brooks out to the 33, back inside of Koila. Koila could get away. No, good tackle to probably stop a try there from Brodie Jones. Luke Brooks, heel step. It's 5th tackle, buddy. And I don't know what that plan was, Luke Brooks, but you are a muppet. So it's going to be a change over here to the Knights of the 10. Made no sense. He's quiet because we figured out who he was. So the Knights here at the 10. He's done the... Did she just say Tommy Talau's been past his HIA? Is that what she just said? The Eloise girl? Did she just say that Tommy Talau has passed his HIA and he's going to be back into the game? I swear I think I heard that. Alright, so Newcastle, 3rd tackle at 20. This is not a great set at all. 19 minutes left here at the game. They're only down by 4 though. We're down 16-0 at half time. Darryl Wallace, do you think Brimson will come into the Titans team this week? Currently he's 18th man. I'm not too sure. I'm not around the team like I used to be, man. So Kalen Ponga gives it off. Chance here for Newcastle. Greg Matthew. Greg Matthew's got Kalen Ponga on the inside. He gets away from 1 tackle. Back to Ponga. Oh, he shouldn't have passed it. Oh, they're still going. They still might score here. Newcastle at 10. They cut it back. Greg Matthew. It's kind of broken now. Just take the tackle. 5th tackle here. 18 metres out. Good run, though. Good run. Get in the middle, Newcastle. Well, Jared Ford, you don't want that because they just made a break down the wing. And then they flick it across here. It's 6 again, but the Knights are going to score in the corner. Try time Newcastle. Try time Newcastle. Down on the wing, and it's 16-16 here with a kick to come. No more booing at half time. No more booing at half time. 16-16, kick to come from the sideline. Here we go. Manly, you're full of bad here. You're full of bad here, son. And no, Clayton Falolo has not scored. It's Koala, Sipley, and Olakwatu for Manly who have scored. And for the Knights, it's been Fletcher Sharp, Fletcher Hunt, and James Schiller. Bing bong, baby, bing bong. Tommy Talau effect. Look what happens when he goes off. Is he back? Like, I swear I heard past his HIA, but I don't know. Well, now it's a game of footy. Well, it's been a game of footy for a bit now because it's only been a 4-point game for about the last 10 minutes. But Newcastle here, they will score in Zigona. As long as he puts it down and doesn't go over the sideline first, but I'm pretty certain he did. Manly is selling the bag here. They definitely are. Schiller. Yeah, he's in, baby. Yes, he's in. Yes, he is in. Bretton's prayers have paid off. Old mate New Zealand guy at half time. Like, obviously, he's a Knights fan. A Knights shithouse. But, like, you know, good on him for backing his team in. As a neutral, we're always going to doubt it when they're as bad as they have been. But, you know, like, this is good. Manly just selling. They are selling big time, baby. Selling big time. And that was actually set up by Fletcher Sharp, by the way, Daz. Get the circle jerk going. Big kick here from the sideline, though. Big kick here from the sideline. Talau has passed his HIA. Thank you. So 16 and a half minutes to go here of the game. Dane Gagai from the wing. Can he get this? He's 2 from 2 tonight. Can he make it 3 from 3 and take the lead? Difficult kick, though. You can't get much more difficult than this. And he will... No, he's missed the kick, so it stays at 16-16. Who was the one who said maybe extra time? Who was the one who said maybe extra time? Because right now, a bit of this, a bit of that. Dearie me, I don't think many people would have had this game for an extra time game. What are the chances of Dylan Lucas scoring? Probably 1 in 13. I'd probably say it's 1 in 13 of Dylan Lucas scoring. So 6 line breaks to Manly, 4 line breaks to Newcastle. Does that help? That's stat. PSA, no one cares about your multis. Stop asking about try scorers. We don't care. We only care about regulars. Jared Farmoni says Helen said golden point, I'm pretty sure. I think Helen says it quite a lot, to be fair, but get her out of. Same chances as me with with the misses, none. Fair enough. Knights now at the 15. First tackle. Second half missed tackles is like 20 to Manly, 6 to the Knights. And Kai Pearce-Paul's second tackle here at the 20. I think Knights fans are going to be happy regardless of what the result ends up being here. I think they're going to be happy that they've at least come back in this game. Just to be there, considering that they've only scored 159 points all season coming into this game. Like, they're going to be happy now that they've come in and got 16. Nearly a high tackle there against Jazz Savunga, but 4th tackle at 35. And good run here from the hooker, and Jaden Brayley now at the 50 on 5th tackle. Manly need to try and swing this momentum back in their favour because the momentum's been out of their favour for a pretty long time now. I think that's a knock-on from... That's a penalty, yeah. That's a penalty to Manly here at the 22, and that is not the way to do it. Knights, that is not the way to do it. James Schiller, he scored the try, but yes, he has had a pretty rough night outside of that. And yeah, he's taken it. Yeah, he's gone into him before the ball's even got there, so it will definitely be a zip penalty to Manly. Cherry Evans, man, he is having a rough year. Were you with us for the Raiders-Roosters game, Skunkle? Because if you were, you'll never know why I'm pulling for Olivia's multis to hit. Well, I think Skunkle can gather, and Skunkle also knows that Olivia's kind of... well, like, we get around Olivia. But the reason why he's saying that is because there's people who are not regulars who come in and ask about try scorers, and it's because of their like multis and stuff like that. So it's not he's not really referring to Olivia when he says that. People booing at their own team should be whipped. Should be whipped. Damn. So Cherry Evans, he'll give it to Ruben Garrick, and Garrick some good post contact there to the 38 on the night side of the field. 3rd tackle. 15 minutes to go here of the game. 15 minutes. They go out to the left. Jazz Tavunga. And Jazz Tavunga, he'll be at the 30 on 4 tackle. Still probably a good 5 minutes away from thinking about that field goal. But Ches can hit him. Can Luke Brooks kick a field goal? I don't even know. 13 metres out. They get off to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans now to Luke Brooks. He's a try. That was all. Oh! Wow, that's an incredible tackle. That is actually incredible. And Garrick is injured. Manly have got so many injuries in this game. Garrick's gone down injured here too. But that is a big try-saving tackle there. That was a guarantee. That line opened up. Who makes this tackle? This is really good. Oh, Jack Cogger has just saved your game here, Knights fans. Jack Cogger just saved your bacon big time. That was a really impressive tackle there from Jack Cogger. Garrick is injured right now pretty significantly. And we're geez, this isn't a good set so far for Knights. Second tackle, they're only 3 metres out from their own line. And now Knights' third tackle here at the 10. Jared says, maybe Newcastle fans like being whipped, hurts less than watching the Knights attack. Well, their Knights attack in the second half here has been pretty right to watch. Dogs legend, Jack Cogger. Was Jack Cogger a Dogs, was he? Obviously, I know he was at the Panthers. I didn't realise he was at the Dogs. All right, so Caleb Ponga, the kicker, he'll whack that ball down. Oh! It bounces towards for a 40-20, but it will be Quarter who brings it out into the 20. The 25. Good post contact there from Quarter. Quarter gets away from 2 tackles. Wow. Quarter, I don't think he's had a bad game. Unsung hero of the 2023 Grand Final. Don't disagree. Oh, Clayton Fa'alalo gets away from 1. He's away. Clayton Fa'alalo is away through the line, and he will get off to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans for 30, the 25, the 20. This could be the game. He steps back inside. Good work there from Fletcher Sharp. No, yeah, Fletcher Sharp gets the try-saving tackle. Don't give away a sin bin here or a penalty because that would have been from right in front. But Manly, 15 metres out. They give it off to... Oh, no, Knights. What the fuck was that? Tommy Talau will score, comes back on the field, and that was pathetic from Newcastle. That was pathetic from Newcastle. Try time Manly right under the post, and it's 20-16 with the kick to come. That defense on that right side, the left side, what I said, remember at the beginning of the game when I said the left side defense is really weird today? Well, they made the breakaway through Clayton Fa'alalo down that left-hand side, and then Tommy Talau has now scored by just exposing this right-hand edge for the Knights' left-hand side attack for Manly. They've just, look at that, but that's pathetic. Who misses this? Who are the players involved in this defense? Because that was dreadful. But Manly take the lead 20-16 with a kick to come, and they're going to be right in front. They're going to be right in front of the post, so it will be a 6-point game. Jimmy James, the crowd should boo that. That was wild. And it's the same... Fa'alalo broke through pretty much the exact same area by a really easy run. And then Tommy Talau just does the exact same thing, very next tackle, at the exact same play, at the exact same position on the field. Mitchell with a $10 redo donations. Let's look at Talau, man. Yeah, Talau scores a try, takes a lead for Manly. It's going to be tough now. Going to be tough now for Newcastle, but there's still plenty. 11.5 minutes to go. Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time. Get around you, Mitchell. Thank you for the donation. Josh says we just need Fa'alalo to get a 4 as well. It was close. He was close. Froggy says, what was that defense? It was not good defense. Not good defense. All right, so Manly. Oh, damn! All the kids are just piling on top of each other right now. Just trying to get that ball. 22-16 Manly. There is 11:10 to go. Daz's boyfriend with a poor tackle. Unfortunately, he's not been able to make a good tackle there. Brocky, my rain buddy, how are you, mate? Oh my gosh, get a room, you two. Josh says that defense was partying in Bali, is what that was. Bradman Best knows all about that. Is that where Bradman is right now? So Manly's got the first 3 tries. Knights got the next 3 tries, and then Manly just scored then. But hopefully for Newcastle fans, that doesn't destroy all the momentum they had. But at least for the time being, you're not going to be seeing Newcastle drop below the Eels today. With them having that little bit of a comeback, they won't go below the Eels today. But they're just going to hope that the Dogs beat the Eels and also the Broncos beat the Titans. Skuggle says, yeah, not too bad. Waiting for another dose of 80 minutes of depression. Yeah, that's what we're used to on the Gold Coast, but we still do it. We still turn up for our team. The Manly Chickens in Newey. Oh, is there a Manly chant going on? 10 minutes to go here at the game, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget, we'll be live for every single game this weekend. Saturday's a big day, baby. Sharks, Warriors, Titans, Broncos. Dearie me, that's a big day. That's a big damn well day. I'm scared, terrified. And Cherry Evans will keep that one into the corner where it will be Greg Martu. Picks it up at the 10 and then taken out here to the 20. Crazy that's a chick. I don't actually, I thought for a very long time it was because a lot of people say it. But I'm pretty certain it is, but I don't know, to be fair, dude. Someone said that wasn't. I don't know, but I'm pretty certain it is. Jared says, Caitlin's option is saturated with double. That English was very non-English. Very much Espanol English. Very much Espanol English, that one. 4 tackle here for the Knights at the 35. Jack Cogger to Callum Ponga, and Ponga at the 45. If he does, hopefully he's erratic as ever and Titans roll the Bronx. Oh, NRL's Pretty Boy comes back this week. Yeah, Reese's Pieces. The old peanut butter chocolate man comes back into the team. And that will go out around the 5. So Manly will get the ball 10 metres out with 9.5 minutes to go here of the game. The game. My Reese's Pieces. Yeah, the old Reese's Pieces, Olivia. The old Reese's Pieces. Can't talk about Fight Club. Can't talk about that Fight Club. Can't talk about Fight Club. Can't talk about that Fight Club because that's an unofficial Fight Club that had cement as the floor. Alright, so first tackle here for Manly. But then again, I really enjoyed Reese's Pieces against the Titans last time out at Seaboss Super Stadium where everybody was kung fu fighting in the air. Big kung fu fight of the old Reese's Pieces. So Jazz Tavunga, he'll run this ball back here to the 25, third tackle. How has Cherry played? Not good. Walsh's serious daddy issues. Cleary became his daddy in the 2023 Grand Final. Became his other daddy in Game 3 last year. Don't know what relevance Game 3 of last year has in regards to Reece Walsh specifically. But in regards to the Grand Final, sure. Doogie says, can't wait for the new Rugby League game to come out this year, lad. Yeah, should be good, man. Should be good. When does it come out? I'm sure it'll probably come out when does it come out? So the Knights here at the 5. Greg Martin to the 10, the 15, the 20. Smackdown. New Zealand guy says, you don't about that. I don't about that? About a what? I was talking about you before. I said, good job for backing your team. Of course you're a Knights fan, you're going to back in your team. But at the end of the day, it was a good little comeback. I don't think Knights win. But it was a good little comeback. I think you should be happy with it. Josh says, Moses caught Walsh lacking when he scored his game-winning try. Oh, yeah, it was Moses. Yeah. Knights now, they'll be taken down here at the 45. Good run from Kai Pearce-Paul, though. And now they'll go out to the right. Fletcher Sharp here at the 42. Jared Ford says, come on, Knights. Well, let me know in the chat, guys. Come in the chat right now. Do the Knights find a way to score and send this to potentially extra time or field goals? Or do Manly finish this one up and hold it out? It's a good kick, but unfortunately they couldn't get up there in the line quick enough, and it will be Manly ball 11. July is the rumour. To be fair, I won't be able to play it until I'm back in Australia. I don't know when that'll be. Because I'm not going to be able to buy it here in Thailand or Vietnam or wherever. Now Manly it'll be Tommy Talau, the try scorer who took Manly back into the lead. It's third tackle here at the 28. G'day Blaze, just want to say I wish nothing but the best for Moran on his departure to the Titans. Very respectable and deserve all the success he wants. Grateful for what he's done for the Dogs. When you talk about how Tino and Campbell are the players who genuinely give 110% in every game, Moran will be out of that list. Yeah, I don't disagree. No, I see how Curtis Moran plays. Well, as you know, I watch every single game. No, I'm happy for it, man. I'm looking forward to it. But there's still a lot more that needs to be sorted out in the Titans than just that. But I'm looking forward to, change direction a little bit. Ponga gives it across here to Schiller. Schiller to Dane Gago. 1-on-1 here with Tommy Talau. But he goes back on the inside. And he gets away from Talau. He's at the 30, the 35. Don't get taken on the sideline. First tackle even the Knights. The 35 on their own side of the field. Only down by 6. Sebon says, Olivia back in the Titans 13 plus again tomorrow. Massive. It's not tomorrow, though. It's on Saturday. Saturday's Titans versus the Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. Out to Cogger. And, Cogger crunch. Cogger crunch by Clayton Favalalo. I do have Sammy to score, though. No, Olivia has Titans 40 plus in that game. Kai Pearce-Paul gets the offload away. Good passing. Dane Gagai here at the 40. The 35. That's a forward pass. That's a forward pass. That's a forward pass. That's a forward pass. The Knights are going to score off a forward pass. Fletcher Sharp will score. That was a mile forward. I'm sorry. But Newcastle will score to make it 22-20. But I got to be honest with you. That pass out of the wing was absolutely forward. That pass out of the wing was absolutely forward. But it is a try time here for Newcastle, and we should be seeing a tied-up game here. We should be seeing a tied-up game here, but this pass is rough, dude. Like, good offload there from Kai Pearce-Paul to Fletcher Sharp, Dane Gagai. Bro, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that was flat. You can't tell me that was flat from Gagai. But this should be converted. 5 minutes to go here. We're looking like it's gonna be a fantastic finish here. Jared Fumman says Olivia has Tina for a hat trick on Saturday. Olivia has Tina for 5 tries on Saturday, and that's in the first 10 minutes. Oh, that angle was actually a little bit better there for the Knights. That angle looked all right. From the behind angle, like up there, it looked definitely forward. When you're looking side on there, that looked okay, actually. Nissan guy says, nice, well... if you, like, bro, again, like I said, like, if the Knights win this game, that's great. They're still in the bottom 4, man. There's not a great deal of a change there. But at the end of the day, there's nothing that had any backup there. You're a Knights fan. You're going to say that. From a neutral's perspective, there is no way that anyone would have thought the Knights would come back when down 16-0, when they're in third last with the worst attack in the competition. And even with their 20 points they've scored so far, are still very clearly last in the competition for points scored. So at the end of the day, congratulations on the Knights making a comeback. They haven't won the game yet. They haven't even tied the game up just yet. But congratulations on the comeback. And if they do win, that's great. But it doesn't change much. At the end of the day, what I was saying was a fact. They are the worst attacking team in the competition. And there was nothing to back up that there would be a comeback. Ultimately, you are a Knights fan. You're going to support your team. We get that. But if it's like a little bit of a bravado, like, oh, if I fucking told you, it's like you are a Knights fan. Of course you're going to say that. But everyone can understand that at halftime, there was nothing to back that up. That's like me saying the Titans are going to come back from 44-0 against the Storm. There's nothing to back that up. So if you don't understand that, then that's your problem, not ours. Josh says, imagine if Fawalalo scores a try and Golden Point. That'd be great. So 4 minutes to go here. 4 minutes to go here of the game. It is tied 22-22. And if you'd like to argue with that New Zealand guy, please feel free. Tell me how we were wrong at halftime. Please tell me what backing they had. Because when you were up against the Titans 20-0, whatever, at halftime the other week, you lost 24-20. So the common trajectory and the trend of the Newcastle Knights this year has not backed your statement up at all. So we understand you're a Knights fan, man, but we also have to be realistic. And at the end of the day, there was no proof there. So have that one, show it. So this is going to be first tackle for Newcastle here at the 10. Someone says, Josh, get your nose out of all this. No, let him get into it. No, let him fire up behind the bet. Let him fire up behind the bet. Josh says, this is the only game today. Yes, this is the only game today. So the Knights now, third tackle here at the 25. Case says, oh my gosh, I'm a Titans fan, but Knights are making me feel some sort of way. This game very exciting. No, it's good. No, I like this. This is what we want to see. We want to see a game like this. Didn't look great at half time, even though the scoreline didn't really reflect it. It was actually quite close for the most part. Jack Cogger at the left-hand side of Ponga. Ponga here. Ponga, oh, nearly breaks away. Still going here. Ooh, he doesn't use his own play. No, fit tackle at the halfway point. Fit tackle at the halfway point. 3 minutes to go here of the game. They're going to be well away from a field goal opportunity. So Jack Cogger will just put this ball down into the corner where it will be Tomatau Kuala. He'll bring it back from the 15 to the 20 to the 25. And, as we said before the game, the upset potential, every Thursday night game so far this season has been the upset. Every single one. So if the Knights would win this game, the same thing would be happening. Dasman says, so now they want to chant for their team. Well, they were booing at halftime. All right, so Ethan Bullimore, third tackle. 2 minutes 40 to go here of the game. Will one of these teams get into a position to take a field goal? And will it be within range rather than like a 45-metre slap up? All right, so fourth tackle. Well, Helen might be right here with that extra time. Helen may be right. Jazz Tavone gets it off here to Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks here. And now Manly will be taken down to the 40. Will you take the 2-point field goal here? Will you go for an opportunity? Cherry Evans here. Will he do it? He does not do it. He just kicks it away. He just kicks it into the corner where it will be James Stiller who grabs at the 10. Okay, how many metres can you get here? Wow, he nearly knocked that ball on there, but he's still got it. First tackle now at the 15. Jared Fumman says, have Manly won back-to-back games this season? I swear it's win-loss, it feels like. I'm not too sure. You'd have to find that out for me right now, to be fair. So Knights go out to the left there at the 20, 25. That would kind of suggest the position that they're in to be at 7th or whatever it is. Dane Gagai, good run here. Dane Gagai, good run here. Oh, and then Ben Trbojevic comes in for a slap at the 35, fourth tackle. That was really good there from Dane Gagai, though. Manly haven't won back-to-back games this year, Daz. That's true. Wow. Well, Newcastle get the offload away. Dylan Lucas hits the grass. Hits the grass, but they do still have it. Dane Gagai again. He'll get this ball to the 50 on fit tackle. A minute 22 to go here. They're too far away for a field goal. They're too far away for a field goal. Fletcher Sharp goes quickly. Oh! Oh, it's out in the full. Knights don't have a challenge, do they? No, the referee hasn't called it, and the Knights don't have a challenge. This should have been a penalty to Newcastle because Fletcher Sharp got held back. Well, no, you can't argue. Oh, yeah, he doesn't let go of him, to be fair. He doesn't let go of him. That should have been a penalty to Newcastle, but the Knights don't have a challenge. The Knights don't have a challenge. They lost their challenge. Damn, dude. So Manly here at the 30. It's a tough call, though, because he's grabbing him before he's kicked it, and then he's just held on to him. It was sneaky there from Manly. But it saved their game. It should have been a penalty, but the Knights lost their challenge. Cherry Evans out of the right side in Tolotau Koala. Koala gives it off here to Ruben Garrick. Garrick here at the 50. They're going to be within range. They're 45 metres out. 36 seconds to go here of the game. Second tackle for Manly. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here, guys. We'll be here for every game this weekend. Cherry Evans to Jazz Devung, and Jazz Devung will be at the 40. They'll have a chance to win it right now. Third tackle, 40 metres out. They go out to the left. Here's a big run straight to the middle. I don't know why Nathan Brown curved out to the left. 18 seconds left here. They'll still have one more tackle. They're going to give it to Cherry right now. Ches, will he do it? No, he doesn't. Luke Brooks, field goal! No, he's going to miss that. He is going to miss that. We're going extra time, ladies and gentlemen. We do go to Golden Point. We go to Golden Point on Thursday. There's 2 seconds to go here of the game. It wasn't a bad crack at it, but it just kept going left, unfortunately, for Luke Brooks. It just kept going left there for Luke Brooks. It would have been interesting if Knights had have got that penalty, and they obviously would have gone for the 2. But Dane Gagai is not necessarily the one that I would be relying upon always, and he's obviously going to be the one taking the conversion. So it would have been interesting to see from 45 metres out, 40 metres out to the right if he would have got that. But here we go. Logan Ballsix has never thought in my life I'd be ever firing up for Newcastle game. Yeah, this is a great start of the weekend, man. We're going to extra time here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to extra time here, ladies and gentlemen. The Manly Seagulls were up 16-0 at halftime. Then the Knights came back to 16-16. Manly scored to make it 22-16. Now it's 22-22. The underdog, which is the Knights, have won every single Thursday night game so far this season. Manly, they've lost a couple of players. Knights lost Tyson Frizzell early. Both these teams have lost players to their team. Lehigh Pawata was a big out, especially considering that Tom Dvojevic is already out here for Manly. Lehigh Pawata was their fullback. Then they had to shift Tolotau Koala to the fullback position, where they then put Ben Trbojevic out of the centres, and Manly have had a bit of a mix around and had to change their team up a bit, and since then they've obviously fallen away in the second half. The Knights are an awful team in regards to attack. They've still, even with these 22 points, 159, 169, 179, they've got 181 points this year through 14 games. And that's the crazy thing, considering that every other team has gone over 210 points through 13 games. So Knights don't have a good track record with points. But yet, at the end of the day, they're back here at 22-22, and we're going to Golden Point against a team that is up there in the top 7. Actually, is Manly 6th or 7th? Manly is 7th right now. So this is a big comeback here for the Knights regardless. But all right, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. We go to Golden Point. Will someone win this, or will we see 2 more teams get put on with the Panthers and the Cowboys? Will the Panthers and Cowboys be joined by Manly and Newcastle with a draw, which is going to start to separate the competition a bit into 2 different points differential ladders? The Panthers get brought back in alongside the Knights. Actually, will this impact them? Panthers have a minus 13. No, the Knights would go equal with them on 11 points, but they'd be minus 69 here still. Whilst Manly, they would go equal with the Cowboys, and Manly would go above the Cowboys. It will be 15 points for Manly and the Cowboys, but Cowboys have a minus 28, and Manly have a plus 46. So this is the worst possible thing here for the Cowboys, because it'll bring Manly back onto their range, and that isn't exactly what they want. This would also not be good for Manly, because Manly's points differential is good regardless. So they don't want a draw, because they don't need a draw. Their points differential is sweet. Their points differential is great. They don't want a draw here. Manly want to win. The Knights, it's 50-50, but they'll take it. Cowboys would hate a draw here. They would absolutely hate it. But all right, like I said, thumbs up, subscribe. First tackle here for Manly. They'll give this ball off to Corey Waddell, who'll be at the 20 metres, second tackle. 4 minutes 42 to go here of the first half of extra time. They give it to Nathan Brown, back to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans got Olakau'atu, and Olakau'atu with a great run at the 30, the 33, 34. That was a great run by Olakau'atu. They needed that. Simpkin now gives it to Nathan Brown, who runs straight back into Crossland, and he'll get this ball out to About the 45, is it? About the 45? Yeah, it is the 45. 4 tackle now to Jake Jabojevic. Luke Brooks. Luke Brooks gives it off into Tolotau Koala. Koala goes himself here. Koala goes himself and he'll be taken out the 44. You have a chance of a field goal here from 45 out, but they're not going to take this. There's no way you take this. Yeah, Cherry Evans just kicks this ball down deep. 10 metres out here from the nice line. Kalen Ponga grabs it, gives it off into James Schiller, and James Schiller brings it out to about 12 metres out. Pretty weak run there from Schiller. Needs to run that ball back harder. Josh says I'm still filthy over that draw between the Panthers and Cowboys. It sorts your points differential out anyway as a Panthers fan. Second tackle here at the 20. Scout says you sound scared. I sound scared. What are you talking about? Third tackle here for the Knights at the 25. Me? Seb Watson says 11 errors to 9, 35, missed tackles to 40. There you go. Right inside Dane Gagai. Dane Gagai, he's been having a great second half, Gagai. 4 tackle here at the 45, and they needed that run because they weren't making meters until that. But Dane Gagai's been a massive pass. They hit massive part of the comeback. Kalen Ponga, he'll give it out. Left-hand side, Knights at the 50. Unfortunately, Grassy McGrath got into the play there. Fair tackle now. And Ponga bomb into the air. The Knights will score and the Knights will win. Manly just got done over late. Oh, that's huge, Newcastle. How good. That's incredible. That ball just fell out the back there. I don't know what happened there with Manly at the bag, but they jump up for it. They go back. And Kalen Ponga, the one that everyone was hating on before, is the one that wins the game here for Newcastle. Damn, Manly. Gee whiz, that's not great for you. Kalen Ponga is the one who put the ball up into the corner as well. Puts the ball up into the corner. And then I think it's Fletcher Hunt who's actually had a really good game today. Fletcher Hunt has been solid. He knocks that ball back there. Tolotau Koala just can't get up for it. And Kalen Ponga coming through after his own kick will score. They were booing their team at halftime, Newcastle fans, and they're celebrating now. They were booing their team at halftime, and they are celebrating now. Channeling you into Tyrese Halliburton, Ponga. Oh, it's funny. Knights fans were booing their team at halftime. We had people hating on Kalen Ponga here. And they come back, they find a way to win 26-22. Well, we're still waiting here for them to confirm it, to be fair. But, it's a try. Thank you, big fella, for another awesome game. Cheers, chat. People love the banter. Go Storm tomorrow night. Well, we'll see. We're waiting here still. They haven't actually called the game off just yet. Well done, Knights. Or have they called the game? No, they finally have called the game off. Okay, there you go. Full time. Sorry, still had the time up there. But Manly, they fed it back today. So what does that do? What does that do in regards to the ladder? It's a great kick from Ponga, a great jump from Hunt, and then Ponga just runs through the line to get the try. Now Manly, they lose this game by 4 points, which means they go from plus 46 to plus 42. I won't lie to you. I think it's nearly a better option than drawing this game, Manly. Obviously, you wanted to win, but I do think that actually losing this by 4 is a better option than drawing, because that would have just meant your points differential was pointless, really. But now the Dragons can jump you if they beat the Dolphins. No, one of the Dragons or Dolphins will jump you. If the Dragons win, they go to 16, which is above you. And if the Dolphins win, they go to 14, which is tied with Manly. But you're now on plus 42 while the Dolphins are on plus 42. So whoever wins that game puts Manly into 8th position. The Rabbitohs, if they beat the Raiders, then the Rabbitohs would go above Manly as well. The Broncos, if they beat the Titans, would have to win by about 30 to go above. Would have to win by about roughly 28-30 to go above Manly. Roosters, obviously, with their bye, can't fix their points differential. The Tigers are well off it. So, big win there for Newcastle that puts them into, it puts them into 14th position. They only got by 1 spot. The Panthers can still jump them, depending on how much the Eels win by. The Titans aren't going to be going above them. But the point is, they're still in the bottom 4. They can't go out of that this weekend, unless, because the Knights are now minus 65, the Tigers would have to lose the Panthers by 7 or more. But then regardless, they're still going to be below the Panthers. No, either way, they will be in 4th last. Either way, the Knights will be in 14th. So not much changing there, but at least they won't probably be going into last this weekend, to be fair. But all right, guys, I appreciate you. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow for 2 games, which is... What are the 2 games here? I know Storm play tomorrow night, don't they? So it's Storm versus Cowboys tomorrow, and then the Dolphins and the Dragons. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins and Dragons go. Obviously, Manly, geez, one of those teams will jump you. And Storm Cowboys will be interesting, but I do have the Storm to win down there in Amy Park in Melbourne. But like I said, guys, thumbs up, subscribe. I will see you tomorrow for another game. Obviously, Rugby League. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.